Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers, but you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from The Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is The Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
It's all ours. And away we go. Welcome to season 19 and episode number 4023. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock. And you are The Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clock.
Drinkity drunk. All right, here we go to North Carolina, where one McDonald's employee isn't loving it at all. Meanwhile, a man who goes in to get a penis enlargement surgery ends up being rather small. To New Mexico, where they now want to make having sex with a corpse a crime. Minnesota truck driver almost drove his truck for the very last time. And a dog in Oklahoma is actually happy that a cat lives with him in the house. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. And let me be the 8,000th person to wish you a happy new year. Speaking of New Year, a flight from Guam to Hawaii. It was supposed to cross the international date line, and that would give passengers 2 New Year's Eve celebrations. And believe it or not, some of the passengers only bought the tickets for that reason. Kind of a cool thing. But it's a flight, and unfortunately, flights get delayed, including this one. Ended up landing in Honolulu after New Year's Eve, so if you spent your money for that double celebration, yeah, wah. Now, speaking of New Year's, did you make a resolution? In a new poll, only 1/3 of us, 33% of people, made a New Year's resolution. Another 16% say they plan to, they just haven't gotten around to it yet. Which makes me think I can think of the first resolution you should make: be decisive. But whatever you resolve to do or to not do, it's usually based on making things better than they were the year before. For example, here's a positive. A man suffering from a rare eye disease, that would be trypanic plexus neuralgia, but you knew that. He traveled from Brazil to Connecticut for what they call a life-changing surgery. Not only is 10 years of pain gone away, but with this improved vision, he can continue his pursuit of getting his pilot license. See, good stuff. On the other end of the spectrum, a Turkish man went to get a penile enlargement surgery. He got the surgery and ended up with a smaller penis. He was hoping to add about 2 inches, ended up losing about half an inch. Now he's suing. Now, another example of opposites. A man won $30,000 on a scratch-off ticket that he received as a stuffing stalker. Good for him. A different man lost his entire life savings in a cryptocurrency scam. Bad for him. But these yin and yang stories got us thinking about our own victories and failures over the last year, and it brought us to today's question, right? You can't help but reflect back when early January hits. We all do it, and God knows even people like us remind you to. So this is what we want to know today. What happened last year that you hope does not happen again? And what happened last year that you really hope happens again?
Be a part of the Big Show. Call 206-803-ROCK. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
Do relationships have to be easy to be right? Of course not. The best relationships with friends, family, or partners happen when both people put in the time and commitment to make them great. Therapy can help. BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Give your relationship some love with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mike Rowe here with a few thoughts on my favorite sweatshirt. A classic zip-up hoodie that used to be navy blue but has since faded to what the fashionistas call a distressed indigo. It's 13 years old, soft as a flannel bathrobe, and after a few hundred dirty jobs, demonstrably and undeniably indestructible. This is the kind of sweatshirt girlfriends like to permanently borrow. But I've held on to this one because I got it from American Giant. American Giant makes all their stuff right here in the USA so they can control every link in their own supply chain. That matters because when you buy American Giant, you not only get great quality, you create jobs for people in factory towns all over the country. No pressure, but if you give a damn about the business of making things in America, you got to support the companies who are doing it right. Go to American-Giant.com/Mike to get 20% off your first order. That's American-Giant.com/Mike.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, but fellas, away we go. Welcome to season 19 and episode number 4023. What a large and in charge program we have for you today on our first day back. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, are you giving us a break at the beginning of the year here on these stories this week?
I think I am. This is stuff that you hope it doesn't happen to you, but you kind of giggle when it happens to other people. And Mike, you even made the comment, it's good this week.
So
Mike said that. You shouldn't be pissed off, is my point. That's all. Yeah.
Starting on a positive note.
Positive
on the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. And as we do every Monday through Friday, you get more Men's Room exclusively on Odyssey and the Odyssey app with the Men's Room Happy Hour. We have props. Had a really nice long break there over the holiday. A lot of us did a lot of different things. So we'll tell some of the stories that happened to us over the course of those few weeks, which some were more interesting than others. Others that I had were absolutely ridiculous, but we'll talk about that coming up on the Men's Room Happy Hour. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It's absolutely free. Hopefully it saved your life over the break if you want to catch our show or anything as far as KISW is concerned. All the podcasts are on there, the weekly podcast. You get the idea. Men's Room Happy Hour. Man, Ted, I have a story for you coming up concerning the Men's Room radio channel. As you know, we all get to pick up 50 songs. We put them together last year.
We all do.
We're going to have new songs for you this year. We'll probably change it up a couple different times. But we all got some selections. And so I'll get in the story coming up. But, I mean, man, you burned my ass horribly, like twice in an hour period. I mean, it was absolutely the most. I almost wanted to crawl into a shell and die.
Well, I noticed you were on the text thread talking about it. Like, I'd kind of forgotten. I was like, oh, nice. Had a good week.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah, I'll tell that story coming up with the Happy Hour. I thought I was going to get beat up by a 75-year-old woman.
Oh, cheering for the wrong team?
No. I will tell you the story. You understand exactly what the hell happened. Coming up with a men's room happy hour. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, man. I just texted him happy birthday, and he's doing me this way. So join us for the men's room happy hour in episode number 516, coming up exclusively on Odyssey and the Odyssey app. And as we start out the brand new year, a couple things going on. Can't believe 2024 is here. Year went by way too fast. At least we weren't in the middle of a pandemic like we have been the last few weeks. There were definitely some positive things that happened along the way. I, for one, need to relearn how to not cuss on the airwaves, as I typically kind of slip into Miles mode when we're not on the air.
I do well because the kids were around.
Yeah, I mean,
so don't cuss
thank God
much.
for that. Yeah.
You know, the wife still does. They still know a lot of words. And actually, my daughter, clearly she's picked up a few cuss words. I will not say what it was, but they got a Christmas gift, and it's probably more for my son than it is my daughter. But my daughter, her back is to me, so she looks at the gift and says out loud, well, he'll be really effing happy. Then she turns around like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I said, look, I'm standing here, so a little frickin' respect, right? But also, you're not wrong. Yeah. He will be very effing happy. Yes, you nailed it.
Oh, here's a
Like she used it proper.
Right, and that's the thing. Where I'm like, you used it in the right context, so kudos for that, man. That means you're paying attention and you get comprehension. But don't.
Yeah. I got the first story, we got a man who won $30,000 as a prize from a stocking stuffer. Not a socking stuffer, as you said earlier.
Is that what I said?
A socking stuffer.
A socking
That sounds
stuffer.
like a good hard punch.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, get that
But she's a
stocking
real
stuffer.
stocking stuffer. Somebody asked me over the break, so they were like, hey, man, do you fill the kids' stockings up with crap? And we're like, no. And she couldn't believe it. She's like, oh, dude, we absolutely do it. So my wife and I said, all right, well, so we don't look like those parents. What should we put in there? And then we remembered they still have this whole bag full of Halloween candy. So basically we gave them their own candy bag. But the weird thing is, while they have not been eating it since Halloween, once you put it in the stocking, thank you, Jesus. Once you put it in the stocking, now the candy's delicious again. But this woman pointed out, she goes, well, we always put scratch-offs in the stocking. I said, I will never do that. I won't do that in 10 million years because if they win, I'm pissed.
No, you
to.
scratched it. You sign off. You won. They didn't win.
There is the scratcher. I mean, even when I got older, my mom would put some miniatures in there.
Booze minis?
Yeah.
In your stocking?
Why not?
Yeah.
21. My parents used to put it in.
21.
So I said when we got older.
I thought you, okay, my bad. I'm picturing like my kids' age. Like, no.
Everything my parents gave me in the stocking was something that was an obvious necessity.
Underwear,
No,
socks.
it was like 2 sticks of deodorant, minute, or it was toothbrush, toothpaste, like things like that. Like you stink. Here's some soap. You stink.
Right.
Like all that kind of crap.
Did you have your orange?
My own, razor.
An orange.
I don't know. You had to have at least one orange in the bottom of the stocking.
Is that a thing or is that a Smith family thing?
I know other people do it, but I can't remember for the life of me where it started.
I don't know, man. It's the first year that we actually did it. Like I said, we took their old ass Halloween candy, put it in there, and they were more than happy to eat it again.
Yeah. So this guy wins $30,000. Quick story for you. I go into a casino over the break, which I typically don't end up in casinos most of the time. Whenever I do, I have a great time.
Sure.
It's just proximity to where I live. So go to a casino, have $100. I'm like, I'm going to spend $100. And when the $100 is done, it's not that I won't keep drinking. It's not that I won't keep watching this football game that's on. But when I'm done spending the money, I'm done spending the money. I get down to $1. $1 frickin' dollar on a old school slot machine where you can't even press the button. They have
you actually have to pull the
pull the handle,
Which is awesome. It's hard to find them.
They don't have the option for the button, which I'm like, this is an old ass machine, man. I put in $1 more, the last credit I had. Ding 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 ding. Then goes off. So I win $250. I walk out with $150.
All right,
$250 in my pocket. I'm like, all right. This is what I'm talking about.
Did you actually walk out with the $150 or did it go toward more drinks?
No. I'm sure I drank more on it, but I did not put any more money into the
That's
machine.
the question.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. So they said Santa had a very nice present for a Maryland man this past Christmas. Grant Johnson of Thurmont, Maryland, won $30,000 from a $3 peppermint payout multiplier scratch-off ticket he received as a stocking stuffer from his longtime friend, Adrian Cahill. Adria.
He needs it, man. He lives in Thurmont.
Is that a bad joint? I don't know where it's at.
No, it's just a tiny little town. There's not much there. You've passed by it, probably traveling through the state of Maryland. I just never knew people lived there.
They also happen to be roommates. They have a tradition of exchanging lottery tickets as stocking stuffers.
But doesn't that make it awkward?
Little did they know.
Roommates, You gave me a scratch. This is why I would never give one away. I just won $30,000.
One of Johnson's tickets this time would turn out to be a lucky one. Here's what I would do. If this is our tradition and we spend $50 a piece.
All right.
I buy the games for you that I think are the games that I would play. You buy the games for me. The bottom line is, whatever the pot is, we're split.
See, that's my problem.
That's how I would do it.
It's
like
gift.
if we all bought.
It's a gift.
But it's a gift.
What we could say is,
but
once you, no. It's like the chess piece when you take your finger off. That is the move you made. Once you put it in my stocking, I get ownership of this.
But
now,
you can make a deal.
You
can cut a deal.
I would not cut a deal. If we wake up Christmas morning and you just hand it to me and say, hey, let's scratch these. Let's pull together and see what we win. I go, okay, we're splitting this. But, bro, you put it on my stocking. Your finger is off the chess piece.
It's different if we walk into a casino. That's all mine. Because we all play different games, we all bet different amounts.
I agree with that, too.
If it's 50-50 on the split, this is kind of like the idea when people pool together on Powerball.
But they know they're doing that. What you're talking about is giving each other gifts and saying, but if you win, I won some of it.
Right.
That's different.
Yeah.
You have to have that agreement in writing before we do this.
That's like
in which case, don't put it in my stocking.
It's like saying, we're out to, I don't know, we're going to eat and watch a football game at a bar, right? And you say, I'm going to gift you with this plate of nachos. Do you really think that they're just mine?
Again, you're using apples and oranges. These are two. You're making everything you make is a different argument.
It's a gift. You took your finger off the piece.
You did.
These nachos are mine when you gifted me this plate of nachos.
If it's a $30,000 plate of nachos,
right,
I will let you eat them all. I will not touch one because I just spent $30,000 on it.
Yeah.
But if you put it in my stocking like this, and based on that, you know I'd lie.
Well, I
would scratch it, and man.
Listen to what she says. I bought him the $3 ticket as a joke. Because he likes the $30 ones and the $20 ones and the 10s. He occasionally picks a $5 one.
All right.
I like the $2 and the $3 ones. Cahill told Good Morning America. So I picked his tickets first, and then he picked mine. So he picked the bigger ones for her, $20, $30, $10 tickets. She bought him nothing but $2 and $3
So he
scratch-offs.
spent more money.
I think the denomination was the same amount, just
but
different per
right.
ticket.
Gotcha,
She normally buys the cheaper ones. He buys the more expensive ones. So maybe she only bought him 2 or 3 tickets. Or he bought her those, and she bought him, 30 tickets because of the $2, whatever.
I mean, look, I gave some away as white elephant gifts, and I stayed at the one party long enough where I saw somebody win like $100 off one of them.
$100.
And I was like, that's awesome. Good for you. Glad that gift worked.
I used to have to go around, back when we were doing radio in Baltimore, covering the Baltimore Ravens, we would go to the tailgate. I'm working alongside the Maryland State Lottery, and it's pretty cool. They would walk around and just hand out scratch-offs.
Yep.
Right? And every tailgate you go up to, hey, you guys want scratch-offs? Everyone says, yeah. On one occasion, we gave probably 12 tickets away to this one tailgate. We are now walking away, and I hear this woman scream. Everyone cheers. She won $20,000. I cannot explain how irritated I was. And I'm like, I'm happy for her, but I'm like, Jesus, I got a handful of these things, and I can't even do them legally. I just gave you $20,000. I think I got a Jell-O shot in return.
It says when we bought the tickets, I was being funny about it. Before we purchased the tickets for each other at the machine, I had her and myself exchange our money. So we would spend each other's money on each other's tickets.
All right.
Kind of being silly about it, but I think that's something that's going to stick now. 2 friends found out that Johnson had the winning ticket. They said they were so excited they ended up staying up all night. We were both really shocked. He checked the ticket 3 or 4 times. He's like, can you check this for me again? And I checked him 3 or 4 more times.
I said nope.
Got on the Maryland Lottery app. I scanned the ticket, and it came up, congratulations, you are a $30,000 winner. I'm a pretty calm person, but it was a nice relief, a nice Christmas gift, Johnson added. He said he plans on using some of the $30,000, the most he's ever won from a scratch-off, on necessities like paying off a car that he and Cahill do share.
Okay.
And some bills, but also saving for some leisure time, too. Rest of the money, I'll break it up and put it away for wherever else we may need it for. Andrea is my roommate, so we can help each other out a lot. He is 36 years old. I also put some money on the way for travel. I'd like to go to Scotland or Ireland. I wonder if that's the one and only Buddy Rugo, or whatever.
Buddy
Rugo?
Something
he was the one who used to hand me the blocks of tickets and just go.
Yeah, and hand them to other people. And watch them win. Buddy Rugo.
Buddy Rugo.
Somebody here who's kind of tracking with me says, hey, to redeem a lottery ticket, you must sign the back. Now, if the giver signs the back before giving it, then the giver controls who wins what. See, that's my power move. Like, okay, I gave this to you, but on the off chance that you win a lot of money, I signed it, bitch. I'm getting something out of it.
Yeah, at that point, just don't give him a gift.
That's true. But it's
not a gift.
It's not a gift.
It's not a gift.
That's how you always say.
I'm allowing you to try to make me money.
Yeah, the gift is you get to scratch it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like giving money to a stock.
Fun.
It's like giving money to a stockbroker. You know what I mean?
Right.
I give you this money, but you better make me some.
Someone here says, I would at least cover the next month's rent as a courtesy and a thank you. See, that's a nice move.
You said they live together or they're longtime friends?
They live both
Well,
friends.
hold on. Now, look, we win $30,000. I'm living with a roommate. I mean,
Wait, we do or you do?
all right, I got a female roommate.
Okay.
And I win $30,000, or she wins $30,000. We're up all night, even if we've never consummated the deal.
You're
If we
saying
win
you got laid that
$30,000,
night?
like, hey, finally, man. Let's throw down.
Even then, I've never been attracted to you. We're having sex tonight.
We won $30,000, baby.
That's what I'm saying. He won it. She bought it. Like, I'm imagining, as if they haven't hooked up, then either way, he's going to spend plenty of money on her.
Damn right he
Yeah.
is.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm your roommate. We live together. Obviously, it's
Longtime friends.
Longtime friends. Blah, 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 blah. Throw me some of that.
By the way, Ted, you'll be happy to know, says, kids, we always got the same stuff in our stockings. We had an orange or an apple at the bottom, some nuts, a deck of cards, a yo-yo, some candy, blah, blah, blah.
I get a yo-yo.
Someone else says, always had an orange in my stockings. Is it a Catholic thing?
Could be.
It might be. Someone else, Ted, my parents would put oranges in our stockings, too. I've never heard of this before today.
Yeah, I was talking to Taryn about it over the break, and somebody else was like, "What are you guys talking about?" It's like, you got to put an orange in there. It's just part of the deal. And then there was always
I've never heard of that.
Candy, and you're right, like a yo-yo, like
Candy
It's
cane.
a toy,
Smaller
but it's not
toys.
like a toy. Yeah.
It's a toy that you get, like, at the bottom of the Happy Meal or out of a cereal box.
Yep. Our question, what happened last year that you hope does not happen again, and what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Cheyenne. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, I do have something that I definitely hope happens again. So I've shared on the show before that I'm a Jaguar fan, and I went to Jacksonville this time last year to see them play the Titans for the division. And this year, I find out on Sunday if they go to the playoffs, and if they do, I've got a ticket waiting for me for the home game that would ensue. So,
Oh, really? So if they do go,
Yeah.
so are they
what
playing
is-
the Titans again this year to close it out?
yes, they are.
What is the math? So what has to happen? There's always a mathematic equation when you're on the boat.
Are they win and they're in, or do they need help?
Win and they're in, and if they lose, there's like, you know,
They need
then
the
they
Colts to
help.
lose.
Right,
They
yeah,
need Houston
yeah.
to lose.
So basically, their destiny is in their own control if they win, but otherwise, they still have an outside shot.
But how are you feeling about this? Because let's face it, they've kind of fallen apart in the last few weeks. Is Trevor Lawrence going to play this Sunday, or is he still out?
He's a full go. Christian Kirk, despite being on having had core muscle surgery, looks like he's going to go this week, and so is one of their other receivers, Zay Jones, that they haven't really had. So,
Cheyenne, I got to ask, did you just randomly pick this team out of the air? How does one become a Jaguar?
Without living in
Because
Jacksonville.
If you've ever read anything about the NFL, Jacksonville has the lowest fan base. Now, not in Europe. They do very well
Right.
there. But as far as merchandise sales go, and season ticket availability and all these different things where they equate the stats, Jacksonville's it's 32nd.
I'm guessing, Cheyenne, you just picked them as you live in an open territory. There's no team.
well, basically, all you ever hear about around here is in South Dakota is the Broncos and the Vikings,
Right.
and I hate the Broncos. And back in like '97, I think it was, in the divisional round, they went in and beat the Broncos. So I was I've been a
Instant fan?
Yes.
All right. That makes sense. Hey, man, I hope they get in.
Yeah. Do you guys see that Kirk Cousins, who's injured and obviously not playing for the rest of the year, they have this tradition, kind of like the 12th man flag. But in many,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
they blow this big Viking horn.
Right.
He comes
Oh,
out
yeah.
there, he comes out there with this kid who's probably like 4, maybe 5 years old. They're both shirtless. He's got like the Viking helmet on. You know,
And Cousins got that big gold chain.
and all I can think about is all the drops we've like, you like that?
Yeah.
You like that? I'm like, man, you couldn't pay me to get up shirtless in front of 70,000 people for like $100,000 and be like, hell no, man. That picture will go viral and I'll never get laid again.
Ever again.
Me shirtless in front of 70,000
Miles
people.
likes to save the
He is a
disappointment. until the
professional
moment.
athlete.
I know, he is.
Yeah.
It's kind of his job.
Wait a minute, man. Can I wear my shirt? Come on, give me a break.
By the way, back to the scratch-offs. This person, look, I'm just a bitch about it. This person's actually maniacal. It says, just scan the lottery tickets at the store without scratching. Give away the unscratched losers.
Ooh.
See?
I'm going to say this one more time. Just, hey, people, if this is where we're at, just don't give them gifts.
Yeah, but it's the thought that counts to the person.
No, it
still
doesn't.
excited
Your
to scratch
thought is
it.
evil. Just don't give the gift.
But they're excited to scratch. Only you know they're going to lose.
Our question, what happened last year that you hope does not happen again, and what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK.
Oh, should we start this show?
Yeah, I'm down. Just buying a car on Carvana first.
Ooh, for real?
Yeah, it's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes. All I had to do is answer a few questions.
Ooh, that's helpful.
And now just customizing my down and monthly payments.
Ooh, that's a very fair deal.
Yep. Boom. Just bought a car. And you get to take me to the Carvana vending machine in a couple days to pick it up.
Ooh. I'm kind of busy.
Visit Carvana.com to finance your next car.
Financing subject to credit approval.
A peanut butter M&M's production.
In a world where Super Bowl winners get the world's admiration and a fancy ring, but the runners-up get nothing, one retired cop returns...
That's one retired quarterback. Read the script.
Oh, sorry. One retired quarterback returns to claim what's his.
That's claim a ring with diamonds made from M&M's peanut butter. But you're on a roll.
The Ring of Comfort, coming soon to a Super Bowl near you.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. Like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Get ahead of postage rate increases this year with Stamps.com. It's like your own personal post office. Sign up with promo code PROGRAM for a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com, code PROGRAM.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, what happened last year that you hope does not happen again? And what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK. We just reset the phone lines. We've been out for a little while, so the computer is back up and running. If you were on hold, call back 206-803-ROCK.
So what do you hope happens last year doesn't happen this year? That's one. By the way, back to the oranges and the stockings, Ted. We are making someone actually doing research that says it looks like the oranges and stockings thing is a callback to St. Nicholas origins, where he gave a man 3 gold orbs, now being oranges, to prevent his daughters from being sold into slavery. That's beautiful. Someone else says oranges and stockings, I think, originated from the Great Depression since it was the only sweet thing that was affordable. My grandmother does the same thing for us. She was born in 1922. And someone else says an orange in your stocking started during the Great Depression. It was a way to fill the stockings with something sweet without having to spend a ton of money for delicacies like chocolate and candles. They also say walnuts were used. Frankly, I'd be pissed if I got walnuts instead of oranges. Out of the two options.
Yep. As I say, one of the most important things in life is your health. You take it for granted until something goes wrong. I think last year was the first year in a long time that I didn't have anything. Health-wise, it was too severe. I battled COVID once last year.
But no butt stuff? No.
Well, I had a colonoscopy, and it's really not the procedure. It's the day before. It's the prep. Right. So that's always a pain in the butt, but I'm glad I got that over with.
Sure.
But knock on wood, man, I did not have any terrible medical things happen to me, which have happened in the past, which was a good thing for the most part.
Yeah.
Body was healthy, and, I got to enjoy myself. I always take it for granted until something bad happens.
I think everyone does. Because, if there's nothing wrong with you, there's no reason why you think about your physical health, unless you're going to the gym or something. Right. But, you get a sore throat, runny nose, pink eye, like A.E. Dave, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you very much just want to get back to being healthy. And you tell yourself, I'll never take it for granted again. Sure you will.
I had a plantar issue, the heel of your foot.
Yeah.
That lasted for 8 months one year. And I mean, it was just, it never went away. It was just one of those things that was just constantly just badgering me. You get out of bed, you're like, oh, God, you just want to crumble on the floor. So the longer you don't stand up.
We say it all the time, but think about just when you get a cold. If you get a sore throat.
I think that's the worst part of it.
It's awful, right? You're just like, I don't know, and then once you get swallow again, it's like, I'm fine. Don't sweat.
I'm good.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm good.
Oh, this is not how you want to end up as far as the world of medical procedures go. A man who alleges that a poorly executed penis enlargement procedure left him with a diminished manhood is pursuing legal action against the doctor.
Diminished manhood.
This is a wealthy guy. He is, I think his name is Ilser. He is a banker in Turkey, and he sought the services of Dr. Haluk Soylemez to enhance his 4.7-inch penis.
All right. What's the international average? Isn't it around?
Probably 4.5, I believe, maybe 5.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think the average you hit around 5 inches.
I saw a whole chart about this on Reddit as far as the countries with the largest penises in the world.
And the ones with the smallest.
The smallest.
Because it wasn't like Cambodia, the smallest, I believe.
It's like Cambodia, Thailand. There was a number of Laos, maybe. Or
a review published in the 2007 issue of BJU International shows the average erect penis length to be about 5.5 to 6.3 inches.
Okay, so he's below the international average by almost half an inch.
Then you get to like, I don't know, Cameroon or something.
Oh, yeah.
They just start measuring up from the kneecap.
His point differential?
3 inches above the kneecap, that kind of a thing. Either way, in the legal documents, the man says the doctor assured him a minimum increase of a little over an inch, so 1.1 inches. Also 1.1 inches in girth. But reports suggest that the procedure performed in January 2022 resulted in disaster, leaving him with a smaller and scarred member. Instead of the anticipated increase of up to maybe possibly 2 inches, he claims the operation reduced his manhood to a mere 4.3 inches, and not nearly as attractive as it was before, apparently. He is now seeking about 13,000 pounds in compensation.
14 grand, somewhere around there.
Yep. Doctors then performed a second procedure.
By the way, I would ask for more than that if you made my penis smaller and left it scarred. Like, yeah, I'm going to want more than 15 grand, bro. Like, sorry, come on.
Yep. And they tried to address the bleeding that was going on, limit the damage following the attempt on the extension. He claims he's still enduring excruciating pain as a result of the alleged botched surgery. I'm sorry, man. If I have excruciating pain and they botched my penile enhancement surgery, 13,000 pounds ain't going to cut it.
That's what I'm saying. I would ask for a lot more money. And look, it was a male that performed the surgery, so you could just look at him and say, you understand the self-importance that all men have around their penis.
Even though he had severe pain, he says that his penis is now severely disfigured. And even now diminished, it has noticeable scars and is not nearly attractive as it was before the procedure.
So it's smaller and uglier.
That is correct. The doctor, however, says there is no fault in the procedure I performed. His defense team argues that due to the patient's anatomical structure, there was a risk of the operation resulting in no elongation or less elongation than average. He also denies making any specific commitments to the patient regarding length or girth and challenge claims that the size of the Turkman's penis decreased following the surgery. Oof. He contends that the guy's demand for compensation is excessive, characterized as an attempt just to get rich, so to speak.
He's already rich. The guy who got the surgery is already very well-to-do.
Well, and he's, we never made any established size of what. Okay, the procedure was supposed to make it bigger. I did it because I wanted to get it bigger. We had this discussion. You made it smaller. I don't care that you didn't get the exact length that I asked you for. You made it smaller than it was.
You did the opposite.
Right?
And it's scarred.
Now, have you guys?
Well, hey, that's just cool.
Chicks dig scars.
They do.
When it's on your penis.
You want to see my scar?
Yeah.
Now, have you guys had any problems before ever as far as medical stuff going wrong?
Medical stuff going wrong? No, nothing wrong.
Ted, didn't you have a buddy who got the wrong knee scoped or something like that?
Yeah. Like we were teenagers. His brother was like 19.
All right.
He went to get arthroscopic surgery on his knee, and the nurse just marked up the wrong one. Oh. So they get in there and realize there's nothing wrong with his knee, have to do the other one. But I mean, like at the time, we thought his brother was the coolest guy in the world. He was like 19, and he was like, yeah, I got it like $100,000 or whatever, like he had gotten for it.
Wow. Yeah, I've never had anything.
I don't know if it did permanent damage to his good knee, but I can imagine you'd be super pissed if you got scars on your knee and you're like, how did you mark the wrong one? But I think it's a little more common than we think.
Yes.
I've heard that it happens more often than you'd think, which kills me because L's and R's do not look remotely alike. And I feel like when they fill out the chart, assuming that they get that part right, like, how do you mess that up? Or does it happen at the time that they write it down?
I wonder. Look, I've got socks that have L and R written on them. I'm going to say 75% of the time when I take those socks off, I have not paid attention and they are on the wrong feet.
But you do not have scars.
I'm not a doctor performing a surgery. I'm just saying I can't even get my socks right.
Dude, I got a pair. There's just 2 L's.
What?
I know. and I forget. So every few months, I'll go to put them on, and I'm like, I'm like, how's there only 2 L's?
That's the damnest thing I've ever heard.
I know. Trust me. And then every time I do it, I feel more like a jackass. Like, why did I do this? I know there's only L's.
I also don't know if it's just Hollywood, but I feel like when people go into a surgery that it's very specific which arm, which leg needs to have the surgery, then you almost, if I'm not mistaken, they actually do decorate the one that's not supposed to be.
Okay, put stuff on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do not operate on this or something, and they'll have fun with it. They'll put stickers, they'll paint all over it. The patient themselves will do something with whatever side needs to be left alone. Certainly in that case.
I do know at one point they were
idea.
going to amputate my arm. And I didn't have insurance. I'm young, but I cut the artery in my left arm. And as the doctor tells it, I have no recollection of this. It was like, dude, you are out cold. And like anything, they discuss finances. And it's like, well, he doesn't have insurance. So first thing was, we're going to amputate his arm. His assumption was that I was right-handed, which 88% of the time is the right assumption, right? And he said, your eyes popped open. You grabbed me by the collar and told me I am left-handed. I'm like, I didn't do that. He's like, oh, no, you did that, man. You were very clear about that. Anyway, I woke up, out of surgery, not even really knowing what happened, and still had my arm.
Unconscious use saved your life.
But that's the thing, man, because I always think about that moment. You could have bled out and died, right, but you have no regrets because you're dead. Yeah. But it's disturbing if you wake up and, like, you're missing a limb that you had before you fell asleep. Like that. That's, to me, a very tough pill to swallow. Not that you want to die, but there's no regrets. You're gone.
Speaking of medical procedures, that's one thing that I hope never happens. Honestly, not just this year, but never again. I moved yet again this year, or rather at the very end of last year, and my cat is a very confident cat, but when he gets scared, he gets very, very scared. And one thing that throws him off is boots on hard wood for whatever reason. He just can't take it. It freaks him out for whatever reason.
Are you talking about female boots? Like clack, clack,
It could be the clack of a female boot. It could be the heavy stomp of a male boot. Like, it does not matter. He does not like the clack of a boot on hardwood. And so during the move, we lock him up into a room, and the dog's barking like crazy, and he's found himself a corner, and then he got scared to the point to where he starts shaking, and he's never really quite that scared. But then when we get into the new place, we get everything all settled down. Everything's fine and dandy. He comes out of the litter box and he's just moaning. He is not doing good at all. And he's laying down and he's showing his nether regions and he's licking at it, and he keeps going into the litter box in and out, and it comes out dry every time.
How long did you wait before? Because you already know the first time he does it, you're like, man, this is either a satchel or butt problem. And
right.
I don't feel like dealing with it.
Right.
Please let this take care of itself.
As he was presenting, I took a gander, like, if I could see anything there. I was like, I don't know what's going on. The wife, this is her baby. She freaks out. We didn't take him inside. So we go over to Gig Harbor. We go to a 24-hour vet hospital, because it was like 8:30 when he decided to have this issue. And male cats, when they when they're anxious, this is set off by anxiety. When we freak out, we as humans, we tend to have some gastrointestinal issues. We have to poop.
We pee ourselves, poop ourselves, right.
Cats do the exact opposite, especially male cats. They actually swell up to the point to where he shut off his urethra. He had a urethral blockage. Okay. And so, and that is fatal to male cats.
Yes.
Like within hours.
I think it's fatal to any creature.
Exactly. Get him inside. So ended up
drowned on my own urine.
After this move that we had to freaking do, then he has to go in there for surgery. He has a catheter that's put in to drain him, and then he's got to go in and have the surgery.
How tiny is that catheter?
I don't know. I kind of wanted to see.
I'm just thinking, like, it's a cat penis.
And how do you nail that? I can see getting a vein on anesthesia. But I mean, you don't even know if your cat's male or female just by looking at it from the external aspect of that. So how do you even know what you're hitting?
I don't know, man. But he's back to normal. He's fine. He's healthy.
How long did it take him to get back to normal?
Like a month, dude.
Really?
Do they shave that area down there?
Yes,
Like
they do.
Do they really?
He's got a little bald spot
now you
back
can
there.
finally see where
Was that the first time you saw his penis?
Yes, it was. That's odd, dude. That is
See, I'd be afraid
odd.
I'd just take the whole thing off with a razor.
Does it just look like a smaller version of a human penis? Because some animals,
his
like
face is
pigs,
backwards.
have a corkscrew backwards.
Yeah, so he's got the
It aims.
he's got the sheriff's starch, and then he's got his little his empty satchel, but
Right.
then he's just got another little port down there that actually faces backwards. That it almost is a little independent down there, to where he can move it around. But yeah, when they squat to pee, it comes out of his back.
So when cats have sex, are they like butt to butt?
Well, no, because like I said,
Or can he flip it around the other way?
he can kind of.
Oh, no, we're doing a good position, Mama.
Yeah. When that one goes
Toss
on
up
there,
on her
then
Yeah, I got the claws in there and everything.
That was
I'm going to make this the year of the cat. What'd that cost you?
Okay, so when we sat in there, they were. I'm actually very, very happy with what it cost me because they were saying, "Oh man, if something goes wrong, this could cost anywhere between, $5,500 to $6,500."
What do you mean if something goes wrong? Because if you say something's going wrong, something has already gone wrong. So
Exactly.
if something goes wrong, this is now on you. So I have to cover.
And that was my argument. Look, I brought my cat in to fix it. If you don't fix my cat and kill my cat, it doesn't cost me a dime.
Right.
You did not do what I asked you to do.
What do you mean, if something goes wrong? Could you imagine there's human surgery this way?
Right.
Oh, we're going to take your tonsils out, but hey, if we screw up, man, and we repair you so you don't die, it's going to cost you a little more.
Exactly. So, but after the procedure went through, everything was totally fine. I think all in total it was like $3,500.
God, that's just so much.
It's still a lot, but this cat's 5 years old, dude.
I know, but it's like
he's 5 years old, man. He's
penis,
a new cat.
I feel like it should be done by size. All right, so in other words, like if Manute Bowl needed that same kind of surgery in his penis, okay, it's going to cost $10,000. If, I don't know, a Cambodian guy goes in there based on the national average, $150.
Well, they should do the same thing. They should do the same thing with checked baggage at the airport and the weight.
I agree.
Hell, I don't want to put a human being on a scale.
I do,
but you have control over your luggage.
Listen, you have control over your weight to a degree for the most part.
Whatever your weight is your weight, right?
They do it with helicopters, right? When you get on a helicopter, if you're on one of those like tour helicopters, I've done it twice, and on both occasions, and I understand why. But the first thing they do is make you stand on a scale. Now, we did it once at Niagara Falls, and a woman wrote down, you couldn't even see what happened. You know about how much you weigh. But she'd look at this little digital thing, she'd write it down, pass it to the pilots, and then the pilots determine who they want on their helicopter based on weight distribution. It was understood. We did it in Hawaii, and they yell your weight out. And I'm not sweating it so much, but put it in perspective, while we are waiting to see which helicopter we're going to get on, this Samoan family walks in. And these are not small people, right? So the dude, he gets on there, and it's like 320. He doesn't care. Broad shoulders, chest out, you know what I mean? He shuffles over. Dude, his wife stands on the scale, and I'm trying not to look, right? It's not funny, Mike. It's not. But this woman behind the counter, and she just yells it down the hall to whoever's recording everything. 385, and it's just, Jesus Christ. But you can kind of see the shame on this poor woman, and it's like, dude, it's fine. That is your body type. You know what I mean? You are just big. But even her kids, and her kids are like maybe 10 or 11 years old. 182. Like, Jesus, God. My God, man. So there's a little...
It's kind of rough that they're screaming it down the hallway.
They are. So everybody knows what you weigh. So if it's something that bugs you, I would say don't do a helicopter tour in Hawaii, all right? But this little old lady who had not said a word, she's very demure, she's sitting in the waiting room with us. And after they call out that family's weight, she leans over to me and the wife. She had not spoken a word to her. I hope they're not on my helicopter. Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
No, swear to God. So when they finally put us all in helicopters, it's me, my wife, and the old lady. And she just looked like, whew. I'm just like, man.
Did they let them all go in the same helicopter? Or they break them up?
We took off before they did, so I don't know. Or I don't know if you have to, they might have a different helicopter because of the one in Hawaii. The helicopter that landed and took us up, and this is from the pilot down to the helicopter. It looks like they found both of these things behind a garage of an abandoned house that had also been haunted. I mean, you go on there, and this guy just, I'm like, oh, my God. Either he knows exactly what he's doing, or he's making it up on the fly. And this helicopter, man, the one in Niagara Falls, these guys have crew cuts, big aviator glasses, and they literally stand with their hands on their hips like frickin' Superman.
And their flight suits and everything.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, and this was like the Cadillac of helicopters. And they don't scream your weight out. But yeah, that one in Hawaii was like 385. Like,
I mean, TC always had kind of a smaller one on Magna PI.
It was kind of like TC if TC sold them that one when they upgraded.
It's the only reference point I have to helicopters in Hawaii.
Mine too. And I swear to God, it looked like that, but without the stripes.
What the hell was that guy's name? We had him on our show.
Robert something.
Feels like a Robert.
No, he's
Is it ended a junior?
What the hell is that guy? I think he's from this area.
The guy who played TC?
The helicopter pilot on Magnum. Didn't we have him on the program?
We did. I actually remember that one.
I just can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, it's Roger E. Mosley.
That's
Roger
it,
E. Mosley, yes.
Mosley.
There we go.
He came on and we had to explain to people who he is.
Yeah.
And he passed away.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. 2022.
Okay, so fairly recently. All right.
Correct. Add him to the list of people we've had on. They're no longer around. Our question, what happened last year that you hope does not happen again, and what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
A peanut butter M&M's production.
In a world where Super Bowl winners get the world's admiration and a fancy ring, but the runners-up get nothing, one retired cop returns...
That's one retired quarterback. Read the script.
Oh, sorry. One retired quarterback returns to claim what's his.
That's claim a ring with diamonds made from M&M's peanut butter. But you're on a roll.
The Ring of Comfort, coming soon to a Super Bowl near you.
Do relationships have to be easy to be right? Of course not. The best relationships with friends, family, or partners happen when both people put in the time and commitment to make them great. Therapy can help. BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Give your relationship some love with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
This is where projects come to life. Our showrooms are designed to inspire with the latest products from top brands, curated in an inviting, hands-on environment, and a team of industry experts to support your project. We'll be there to make sure everything goes as planned, from product selection to delivery coordination. At Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery, your project is our priority.
See the latest designs from your favorite brands, including Electrolux, at your local Ferguson showroom.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, what happened last year that you hope does not happen again, or what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK.
Couple of quick texts here. Says something I didn't want to happen this year that did last year was working when all you guys take your holiday vacations. May have been the worst few weeks of commuting 2.5 hours each day. I'll be making sure to take that time off next year. I'll tell you what, we'll even give you a heads up next year, and you can coordinate your time. And as far as surgeries potentially going wrong, Ted, you brought up your buddy who had the wrong knee scoped, essentially.
Correct.
This one's terrifying. Says, my daughter went in for brain surgery. At first, they marked the wrong side of her head. We both looked at each other and said, hold up. Then they marked the correct side. That is the way in your confidence, I would think, when they go in there like, oh, man, like this is brain surgery, guys. Please make sure you get the right side of the head, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Good Lord. Hello, Lex. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I'm going to start good this time. One good thing that happened for me last year was I participated in my first ever piano contest and got pretty much the highest ranking there is to be.
Nice. All right, a couple of questions. One, how long have you been playing piano?
About 5 years.
Now, is this something you wanted to do or something that the parents threw on you?
Something that I really wanted to do.
Okay. I think that is a very, very good choice of instruments because, look, I would say guitar, piano, or saxophone because in the end, you're going to get laid. But more than that, you can always find an available piano somewhere. And if you can sit down and stick the landing with piano, it is amazing how many people come over and want you to play with this, that, and the other. And with that, were you doing like classical stuff, reading off of sheet music, or are you playing like Billy Joel songs?
So sadly, it was a no lyric sheet music performance.
It was a what now?
You couldn't play any songs with any kind of lyrics. So you had to bring an original copy of the sheet music.
Okay, and what did you choose to play? Would it be anything that any of us know?
Doubt it. I played.
That's the right answer.
Hold on. Yeah.
I'm in the bathroom.
Actually, I can't.
I mean, can you play the Entertainer from The Sting or anything like that? Or
Was that the which one?
A little bit.
All right, that they said that back in the day it used to be a complicated piece, so people could play that.
Root Beer Rag from Billy Joel. And was Chopsticks the first song you learned on piano?
It was actually the second one.
Okay.
So what do you hope happens this year for you?
I actually, same thing. I want to win the piano contest again. It's coming up on the 25th, and I've already entered.
Okay, well, good luck, man.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad at all.
What bad happened to you last year?
Our car was demolished.
Demolished how?
So, like, imagine, like, just picture a junkyard, and, like, one of the few things you picture in there is piles of trash, and, like, it looks like a giant took a car and crumpled it like a soda can.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, man, car accidents are not fun. Right before the end of the year, it's been years since I've been involved in any kind of fender bender. I think the last one that I got involved in was 1994 or 95.
That's pretty good amount of time.
That's a good run. It's been a long time. So I'm driving down Larry, and all of a sudden, of course, a woman takes a left turn into me. She's in the
she's
right
going
lane.
parallel to you,
yes,
right?
We're parallel, all right? But I'm a little bit in front of her. So she decides to speed up, and then without a signal or anything, just all I hear is boom on the side of my car. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So, of course, pull over, do the whole thing. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. As long as you're fine, as long as your dog's fine. Dog looked like he was having a pretty rough
Would she
time.
just change lanes into you?
She changed lanes into me, but she almost went over the hood of my car in a weird way.
I was going to say, yeah.
The angle of how she hit
Jesus.
it almost felt like it sounded, the way that I saw her car lift up.
Right.
Her left front tire definitely left the ground. So there was a very good chance that if I didn't kind of swerve to the left a little bit, if I kept going straight, I would have pushed her over into a roll. Kind of a situation.
Which deep down.
So I don't know what you know about dealing with insurance companies and everything else, but this has been for the last 3 weeks of my life just something where every day, it is something different that I have to deal with.
Everyone drags their feet.
How much time this thing, it's one thing to take your car in and get an oil change or any kind of service. If you need new tires, that's all, whatever. But man, when it comes to a body shop, you just don't know how long that car is going to be in there. I know VD had one of those years with his truck where it was gone for months and everything else.
It seemed like that was the last 6 months of his year was dealing with truck stuff.
I would say 3 out of every 4 weeks of the last 4 or 5 months of the year, his truck was back in the shop, basically for the same problem because of the one part they believed they needed to fix everything to nail his truck. He just couldn't get it anywhere.
Right. So so depending on the insurance company you have and the way that adjusters work, the new trend is that you are basically your own adjuster. So in other words, you download the company app. You go on there.
Take the pictures.
You submit all the pictures.
Download the app.
Oh, yeah. You submit all of the damage, the frame damage, all the. How in the F do I know if there's frame damage? Like, right. I'm not an auto mechanic. Like, I can't spitball this.
I can only see the cosmetic stuff, man. I don't know anything.
Right. I don't know the inside of what happened in here. I don't know anything other than what I can see. The pictures that I'm now sending you. So instead of sending someone over that actually assesses the damage, that job is yours now.
Right.
Which is just like, hey, look, this is not going to be accurate if I'm the one. And you're going to spitball this thing from looking at photos?
Which is ridiculous, because they don't trust you in any other capacity. Like when that tree fell through our yard.
That's what I was going to say. Hopefully you don't have that type of situation again where you're dealing with just crap.
Well, that tree is gone. And trust me, after that, I surveyed all of the other tall-ass trees in the neighborhood. We're in no danger, but after that tree fell, my other neighbor ended up pruning some trees in his backyard when he saw the damage it did, and then just how long it takes insurance to get around to it, which really was pissing me off, because I'm like, look, man, why don't you refund me all of the money I've given you over the years, because I have not had claims for 9.5 years. Just give that money back, and I'll give it all to a different insurance company, but I'll just take out what I need to pay for the fence. I mean, again, we're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage. We are not running a scam. All things being equal, this is fairly a cheap fix, but this is what we pay you to do. I mean, goddamn. And speaking, we weren't in a car accident, but my wife, we were off. This is before we took this Christmas break. I don't remember why we were off. We had the day off. Oh, you know what day it was? The day we did live night. So I had the day off, and we were working later that night. And my wife says, hey, I'm going to go get a pedicure. You should go with me. I'm like, babe, that is not a sales pitch. She's going, I'm telling you, you'll like it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, F it, man. You know, right. Ted just did it, said it was great. I'll go with you. So I'll go for my first ever pedicure. Ted, you're right. Feet are ticklish.
It's super. It's super relaxing. I enjoyed it.
It is what it is. But we're just hanging out together. We're actually having a pretty good time. But my feet are sitting in, I don't know, wax or something. I don't know what they're doing. They're just down there doing some stuff. And this lady opens the door to this joint and goes, anyone know the Cadillac Escalade? Which is already bad news. It's like, yeah, somebody hit your car. Like, you've got to be kidding me. She's like, there's a little bit of damage. And she's like, he left a note, which I deeply appreciate that this person left a note. You want me to go get it for you? Well, yeah, because my feet are stuck in whatever the hell this stuff is that's on my feet. So basically, the guy, he apologized for hitting the car, gave a quick explanation why, which matters to me not at all. But gave his number. We reached out to him, and he is putting it through his insurance, which is good. The thing is, he didn't do a ton of damage. But on the left driver's side in the back, there's a little dent where he hit it. And then the tail light, he busted out all the red. So the light itself still works. Right. But there's not a lot of damage, right? It's irritating, but it's not a lot of damage. No big deal. Again, this happened on whenever live night was. I believe November. Late November is when we did it.
It's the Friday before Thanksgiving.
Okay, the Friday before Thanksgiving. The car can get into the shop tomorrow. Oh, right, because you said it's not the insurance. It's the body shop. Because we called immediately and said, hey, man, this guy's insurance will take care of it. And this guy's been on the ball with it. Again, appreciate that. And they were like, yeah, it's great. We can get it in January. Right. I'm like, it's November. He's like, right, so we can get it in January. So tomorrow, the car goes in for the minimal amount of body damage you could possibly have. That happened in November. And I don't understand.
So I have the same person I contact all the time on this collision. And granted, fortunately for me, the woman who hit me, we have the same insurance company. So this is going a little bit smoother than it would have been prior.
Right, if you had two separate ones.
Yeah, so I'm on. He's explaining to me blah 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 about. I don't think this is going to be too bad based on the pictures you submitted. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Ends up, it's going to cost about $5,000. So it's pretty substantial if insurance didn't pay for it.
Yeah,
right? So $5,000 in damages.
Yeah.
To me, that's a lot of money. So the guy's on hold, and he said, "Can I put you on hold for a minute, please?"
What would happen if you said no?
And by the way, I've talked to this guy 5 times. All right, 6 times. We have a rapport going on. You know, he's a good guy. He's trying to help me out.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through technology to get him what he needs.
That's the struggle.
All the things that are hard for a 50-year-old to figure out. If my kids were here, they would just whip through it. And
that's when you called them over. Hey, do this for me.
I'd be good to go. But at any rate, so he puts me on hold, and so he's like, it'll only be a minute or whatever. I'm like, all right. So 5 minutes go by, and I'm still on hold. I'm like, geez, what's going on? So he comes back, and he's like, sir, are you still there? I'm like, yes, I'm still here. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I had to deal with some stuff.
Deal with some stuff?
And I was like, he's like, yeah. He's like, another claim came in a couple weeks ago. So I'm just trying to get that one squared away, and I've been trying to get in touch with this person forever, and they finally called me back. So, I got a chance to talk to him. And he's like, you're not going to believe this one. And I'm like, all right, what? And he goes, okay, so he says, a person that we insure, and I'm not supposed to tell you this, but
I got to tell somebody.
You got to hear this one. He's like, they have an electric car. I don't know if it was a electric hybrid. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's straight electric or if it's just an electric battery in it, whatever. Who knows? But apparently it was an SUV. And the person decided that they were going to transport an aquarium full of salt water in the back of their SUV.
All right.
Now, this does not have a lid on it. This is like a 40, 50 gallon
Jesus
tank.
Christ. There's no lid on it.
No, but they were I guess do you buy the salt water at some place? I don't know how this works. I've never had a saltwater
tank.
This
sounds like a farmer's insurance commercial.
That's exactly. I went bum. Yeah, when he told me this. So they had a hard brake situation at a light, or I don't know if someone pulled in front of them or whatever the deal is. So the person slams on the brakes. Whatever happened with that water, the way that the water shifted back and forth in the tank, it blew the tank, one of the sides of the tank. All right. So the salt water is pouring into the back of the hatch of the SUV, in the back where like a seat is folded down, right? Whatever the deal is, right? It goes and gets on that battery. So this is like 50 gallons of salt water that's on a battery. I don't know if this thing runs hot. I don't know, but it completely melted the car down. Apparently the car just went, and the car catches on fire, even though it's got all the salt water in the bag.
Right.
Like whatever happened between the salt water and the battery completely fried the entire car. So he's like, I can't believe, this is something that I'm dealing with, man. He's like, I got to talk to my managers. I'm like, yeah. I was like, that's crazy. Like, who in the hell rides around with 50 gallons of salt water open in the back of their truck? I'm like, I don't know. But either way.
That would be my question. Like, if I'm the insurance adjuster, like, if you're telling me the truth, you did not get in an accident. You slammed on your brakes, which is the right thing to do. But you were transporting 55 gallons of salt water. Like, what part of your insurance claim covers that?
By the way, I've talked to that guy 3 more times. So, like, this is just never
right.
Whatever the deal is, it continues.
Well, just so you know, somebody here, and they do it in all caps, so I don't know if they're yelling or if they're doing it from the rooftop, but it says, I'm an insurance adjuster, and all this photo apps started from COVID. Companies quit sending adjusters out.
Oh, okay. Well, at least there's an explanation behind it. But you know what?
But you can get back to it.
Right. That sucks for the adjusters. People probably lost jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, guaranteed. That's the thing. The first time when that tree fell down, they sent out an adjuster. It took them freaking forever to send the guy out. But the guy comes out. He does his assessment. We got to see his final number, and we're pretty much in agreement with what it's going to be. Well, then we don't hear anything from him for a little bit, and so we have to call back to the insurance company. The guy that was our adjuster that came out to do it, he'd quit. And I'm like, dude, either he quit in a huff, or he already knew he was quitting and came out to do it anyway. But he didn't pass his paperwork along. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So they had to send out another adjuster. And combined with our photos, they finally pieced it together, and we finally got our money. But, I mean, it took like 2.5 months. And, like, there's no dispute. There's no – this is as simple of a thing as there could possibly be. That tree hit this fence. We want the money to put a fence back up. That's all. Meanwhile, the dumbass who lives next door to me, most of the damage happened to her house. All right, so, and as we had told the city of Seattle, if they would listen, it's going to land on this person's roof. Then you know what it did, Ted? It landed on that person's roof. Yeah. Because basic freaking fit, like if you throw a ball up in the air, it's going to come back down. That's how difficult these physics were. So her roof's messed up. It was a 5x5 patch. She complained to me one day. She goes, hands on her hips. She's very entitled and also very stupid. And when you put that combination together, it's just frustrating. And you wonder, how are you even still alive? You're this dumb. And anyway, she got her whole roof redone and was going to put up a fence. And she says, can you believe the insurance company is not going to pay for the whole roof and not going to pay for the fence? I said, because the damage on the roof was 5x5. That is what they paid for. And they're not going to buy you a fence. You don't just get insurance, and then when you want something, like, it's not taking out a loan.
It wasn't her fence.
But there was no fence. There was not a fence there.
Correct. So
like, there was a fence behind our properties that bordered this other person, but there was no fence between me and this woman. And she's like, can you believe they won't pay for a fence? And I said, well, yeah, because there wasn't one there. Like, they don't just give you stuff. I mean, and keep in mind, they're going to give you as little as they possibly can, but they're going to cover only the things that happen. So you paid for a new roof. Good-looking roof, by the way, but you're on the hook for all of it except the 5x5 spot. She ended up putting up a fence, right? But she couldn't believe she was paying out of pocket. And then she said to me, do you want to go half and half on the fence? I said, no. If you want to put up a fence, you can put up a fence. Right. But if I'd wanted a fence up, I would have put one up. That's how you know it doesn't matter to me, because I haven't done it already. And she just took this house over from her mother, who's now like, I don't know, in some older care home kind of thing. And so she transferred this over to her daughter, and her daughter is one of the dumbest people I've ever met in my life. I mean, seriously. And all the neighbors hate her guts. As my one neighbor says, she's got bad juju, man. I said, yeah, that's the way it puts it.
It's probably harsh for him when he says it.
It is. That's basically his way to say she's an effing bitch. But with him, it's she's got bad juju. He wants nothing to do with her. I'm like, well, yeah, because she's stupid and entitled. And unfortunately, she has the ability to speak, and we have to listen. If I couldn't.
You think she'll stay or just sell it?
So right now she's running it as an Airbnb, which is what she told us she wants to do, which there are places you could live in Seattle where I think it'd be more lucrative than north of Northgate Mall. You know what I mean? Like, if you did like a 6-month rental, I would get it. Someone is here on contract doing business, but this is not a place you take your family because we can just walk down the street and do what? Stare at a junkie or look at the light rail. So she's rented it out 2 times that I've seen. One was for the Huskies-Oregon game.
All right, that adds up.
Right, a couple of Huskies came up here, and I want to say this past week she had a couple of Steelers fans there. But that's it. I mean, that's 2 times in however many months. I just wish she would sell it, because whoever moves in next door cannot be as bad as her.
What happened last year that you hope doesn't happen again, or what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK.
Don't say that, man.
I know.
It didn't dawn on me until it came out of your mouth. I was like, in theory, you're correct.
I thought the same thing. Like, as soon as you said that, imagine the people that move in, their kids, her and the husband are all that bad. You know?
Right? They don't even have kids.
Oh, God. Hello, Trevor. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, boys. Happy New Year.
Hola.
Hey, gentlemen. So, second time being back out here to the Pacific Northwest, active duty military. And the first week I'm here, you guys welcomed me back with my car getting stolen. So it's a funny story. I'm staying at a hotel. My family's there with me, and I'm checking into work, and I'm going out there pretty early in the morning. They walk out, and they say, I know my car was here last night, but it's not here. And it's a single row of parking at this hotel. And I go back in and I talk to my wife. I said, you moved my car last night. She said, no, I never drove your car yesterday. I said, well, it's not where it's at. She said, you parked somewhere else. Walking up and down the parking lot, can't find my car. Go in and talk to the hotel staff, and they say, no, we didn't tow any cars last night. I said, my car's been stolen then. They pull up the CCTV, and another stolen car pulls into the parking lot. It goes to the end of the parking lot. A gentleman rolls leisurely out of the bushes, hops in this other stolen car, drives through the parking lot, finds my car in the parking lot. They put it in reverse. He hops out in 1 minute and 28 seconds. They steal my car, and they're off. They take it joyriding. 7 hours later, they find it, doors open in the middle of a street in Tacoma, and it was totaled, absolutely totaled. So I never want to get my car stolen again.
What, if you don't mind me asking, Hyundai or Kia?
Yeah, exactly right. It was a Hyundai. Yeah. The old TikTok trick, it got me.
Look,
28
man.
seconds. It was a world record.
I hope that stops. There's got to be a recall on those cars. I know that the city council tried to do something as far as, or maybe the county did as far as
What are you trying to do? What, force the automaker to address it?
Well,
because I don't disagree about that, but their flip side is like, hey, you bought the car.
Every single month in my neighborhood, there's a couple of pot shops, and they just keep replacing glass. They keep putting barriers up. The Bevmo got hit. Another pot shop down the road got hit. It's like, man, there's got to be a way.
Right, and they take the stolen vehicle.
I understand that there's product in there that people want to steal, but the banking has a lot to do with it.
It has a lot
as far as cash.
Correct.
Your cash business. So I don't know if people are stealing the safes inside. I don't read those parts of the article. I don't see that stuff come up. But the bottom line is they're getting product.
Sure.
So one way or another, there's got to be a way to stop this crap from happening because people are losing their minds. As far as just having to replace, I know a lot of the people who own the buildings in Fremont and a lot of in the area.
It's frustrating,
and it's crazy. It's great for the glass industry. Trust me, it's great.
They might be behind it.
I know,
right?
But it's
now that I'm thinking about it, right? Yeah. They are making bank on this.
It's the same movie every time. There's 2 stolen cars.
Right.
One is the one you can drive away. One is the one that you total into.
The battering ram and then the getaway.
And they're both.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you drive one to smash through and you take off at the other.
Other guys waiting around the corner in another stolen vehicle.
And thanks for TikTok. Anyone can figure out how to do it.
What happened last year that you hope doesn't happen again, or what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Do relationships have to be easy to be right? Of course not. The best relationships with friends, family, or partners happen when both people put in the time and commitment to make them great. Therapy can help. BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Give your relationship some love with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every year, one thing is always predictable. Postage costs go up. Stamps.com gives you crazy discounts of up to 89% off USPS and UPS services, so your business will barely notice the change. Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses just like yours. It's like your own personal post office. No lines, no traffic, no waiting. Sign up with promo code PROGRAM for a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com, code PROGRAM.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Programming note, exciting news on the air that is now 2024 KISW for the first time in a long time with a brand new morning show.
Yeah.
Daily Mix Show every Monday through Friday starting at 6 a.m. right here on the Rock. They had show number 1 today featuring the legendary Steve Miggs, Taryn Daly, our nighttime lady of the night. She's moving down in the mornings. Also Danny V and Sarah in the house.
Yeah.
First show this morning. I'm telling you what. I've listened to a lot of radio for a number of years. Obviously, we're very critical of radio being in the business.
Just a little bit.
But you don't expect too much from the launch of a new show right away. Those things take a little bit of time, a little time to gel and all that. They did announce, they put on a kick-ass morning show on day 1.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Right? It was upbeat. It was fun. Awesome. They go like, all right, man.
Yeah,
seriously.
So congratulations to them, man. That was fun to get up and listen to. I got up at 5:55 to turn that bad boy on.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I just want to hear the launch of the show. I thought they did a great job. I listened to the majority of it. I was in the dealership from the crap for a while this morning, but other than that, man, I listened to most of it. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, day 2 is tomorrow of the Daily Mix Show right here on The Rock. So, man, they kicked ass, I thought, on day 1.
And you can read all about it on page 7 at KISW.com. It's not on the front page. Dude, it's a brand new morning
soft
show
launch.
After almost 2 decades. You know what I mean? That's significant, man. On a big-time station.
Yeah.
It's like, well, where is it? Why am I reading about James?
The Daily Miggs Show. You get it? It's a play on words.
Yeah.
Because Tara Daly.
Yeah.
Steve
Right.
Miggs.
Steve Miggs.
The Daily Miggs Show. That's how they spun that. But they did a hell of a job this morning. So congrats to those guys, man. Hats off on show number 1. I'm impressed. I really am.
For sure.
Just being in this business to do a 4-hour talk show, to be together for the first time, to be in one room together, to try to get the chemistry together, to try to get each other's cues together. There's a lot of other stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on.
And I really thought that they just did a hell of a job. So.
And I hope they continue to do so. There was, I want to say the name of the show, but there was a legendary show back in Baltimore. These guys have worked together for however long. Then they were off the air for a while. Then they're invited back. I want to say maybe 2-3 years after they've done their thing. Mm-hmm. People are real excited about it. And they always broadcast out of 2 separate studios, which we just thought was kind of strange because it's a 2-man show.
And they're legendary.
And they can look at each other through the glass. It's not that. It just seemed odd.
Smoke Man?
No, not Smoke Man. Big Don was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, my bad. I was confusing him.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and his old partner,
Brian Wilson.
So, and they sat in 2 different studios. And we just thought it was weird. And one day, it was explained to us that years before that, they're on there. And I don't know what was said, all right? But Big Don was a very jokey guy. And
Brian Wilson was not
a very jokey guy.
So, he looked like at any point in time he could give you a look and shoot you right through the eyes just with his own eyes.
And we don't know, again, what was said, but Big Don, who was always smiling and always kind of giggling, he's just that guy. He said whatever he said. And this is live on the air. The other dude pulled out a gun and threatened to shoot him. But, he physically had a gun in his hand. Not like, I'm going to shoot you after the show. I mean, they're on the air, and he pulls out a gun, and he's going to kill him. And my first thought is, well, maybe I don't work with that person anymore because that seems awfully dangerous. But they plugged on for a little bit longer. But yes, when they brought those guys back, wait a minute, he was going to kill him. And you pull Big Don aside, was he seriously going to shoot you in the studio? He's like, I sure as hell thought he was. Like, it really seemed that way, man. That's right. Like, wow, that's your business partner.
Check out the Daily Mix Show tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m. I think you're going to like that a lot. And by the way, as far as the new year goes, we have a lot of stuff that we're planning as well. As we get word on what we can lay out there, we will definitely do it. But we are fired up for this year.
Man.
On a lot of different levels.
Absolutely.
I wish we could tell you more. When the time is right, we will.
New Year's Eve, I talked to one of the people that is assisting us with this thing that we're quite excited about. I said, man, when can we say something? And he's right there with us. He goes, look, there's a few more things that need to be ironed out. But he's like, I'm right there. And he said in some circles, it's not a secret. I'm like, really? So what he does?
We know that.
Yeah, he was like, dude, everybody knows. Like, oh, really? He's like, everybody knows. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But everyone's excited for this guy and his group of guys. So good things coming, man.
Yep. All right, our question, what happened last year that you hope does not happen again, or what happened that you really hope does? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tina. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hola.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Speaking of you guys, my highlight last year was meeting you guys at the 884 and at Knuckle Shoot.
Yeah. Oh, you went to both. You went to two.
Nice.
I went to both and had the best time. And I'd love to see you guys again. I was disappointed at 884 because Mike wasn't there. And I really wanted to see him again.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. Mike is disappointing most of the time. So really, it's just like him being there.
Yeah. Okay, Tina, on that tip, just so you know, as far as White River Amphitheater goes, there have been a few years where we've done 2 shows. We've done 3 shows on Pain in the Grass. Last year, unfortunately, we hope it doesn't happen again, but things just did not work out on Pain in the Grass. If things go as normal this year, which typically, obviously, that is the plan. I don't know if you have heard the news, but when you were down at Muckleshoot, did you see that huge-ass hotel that they were building right beside the casino?
Yeah, it's getting ready to open.
They're going to open that thing, from what I understand, I heard, maybe this month sometime. So,
yes.
So if we have a couple nights, or if you're going down to see a show and you just want to be close to the venue and you want to spend the night in the hotel,
which is probably a better decision.
Eat dinner, you want to just get a room for the night, make it a special occasion,
get drunk, and not have to go anywhere.
If we're down there for 2 or 3 days, we could spend the night theoretically there. And trust us, we know the date of Pain in the Grass before you do, so we're guaranteed to get those hotel rooms. Before
get them all hooked up.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah. I'm taking that pull if possible.
That would be sweet.
But I'm looking forward for staying down there. And we also had no idea the audience that we had in Bremerton until we went over there.
Dude, that hands down.
That was a very cool highlight for us last year, was just to realize that if you just go across the pond, you'd be surprised.
Things are different.
How many people listen to the show. So that was
You're welcome back anytime.
An eye-opening experience for us for sure. Okay, so what are you thinking about?
Anytime.
Well, thank you, Tina. What are you thinking about either last year, or what do you hope happens this year?
Well, meeting you guys, I hope happens again this year, and what I hope doesn't happen again is my bank account going to 0.
Now, did you know it was going to hit 0? Did something significant happen? Did someone steal your identity?
Did you buy us beer? What happened?
No, it's just bills piling up.
And it went down to 0.
Yeah, because bills came out before paycheck went in.
It's funny how that seems. It's almost like they coordinate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, this is due on the 22nd. I get paid the 23rd. This is due on the 30th. I get paid on the 1st of the month.
Tina, let's say that things get sunny and things turn around. I'm telling you, this is my experience in life. I'm not trying to go wah wah on you, but
that means that's what he's doing.
I'm going to go wah. I'm Debbie Downing your. Yeah, right. That's a fact.
Are you going to down her more?
Okay, I'll tell you why.
She just told you the things she doesn't like.
This is the law of life. This is the law of life. All right, let's just say for whatever reason, everything works your way, and now not only do you have money in your checking account, but you were able to put $2,000, $3,000 in your savings account. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's a hotline from the bank. Tina's got $3,000 in there. What the F could happen that we could pull that out so she has to pay somebody?
Break all of the windows in her house.
As soon as you think for 1 minute that you are in the clear, that there's nothing else.
Right.
Like I was almost solvent, and then that freaking car accident happened, and all this different crap where I just was like, okay, so like, I had to go get new tires, I had to do all this crap. Man, as soon as you think as soon as you think you're ahead of the game for 1 minute, there's going to be somebody with their hand in your pocket that you never expected to show up.
Actually, that's not being a downer.
So, yeah.
That's the honest to God truth.
It is. As soon as you think you got everything done, there's just something huge will fall on you that you need to now do.
We literally had the tree fall. My wife, we had, like you said, got solvent. We had planned a trip to London. We were going to go watch the Ravens overseas, right? I mean, it was planned. We were about to book the ticket. It's like basically, as we're booking the ticket, you just watch the tree fall and go, no, you're staying home for the summer, you son of a bitch. That's why I threw. For 9 years, this tree's been threatening to fall. And as soon as we said, man, we just paid off all this debt. We just got all this crap done around the house. We high five, and here comes the tree. You son of a bitch.
Well, at least did you get your bills paid off, Tina?
I'm working on it.
All right, well, keep grinding away, man. I mean, that's all you can do.
I mean, that's it. That's it. What kinds of, are these just the standard bills, or any of this stuff that you did not expect? Is it holiday kind of crap? Because the holidays just beat the hell out of everybody.
Having to get a different car.
Ah, okay. That does not make it easy.
No.
That does not make it easy.
No, it does not.
That's funny. My kids have now, my son will ask how much certain things cost. And I'm like, don't worry about it, man. You know, me and your mom, we take care of you. Don't worry about it. But then he'll start throwing out guesses. So I'm like, higher. Kids do not have a concept of how much stuff costs, right? Because $500 to them is the equivalent of $1 million to us. So I say $500, more than that. And then we'll get to the point, and I'll be honest with them, give them the total. It's like, oh, my God. I'm like, that's what me and your mom say, because that's for you.
Yeah.
I'm not having fun with this money that was spent. You are having fun with this money that was spent.
I had a moment where I was good for a second there. And then there was a family member that needed some assistance. So, of course, I'm going to say yes. I'm telling you.
Was she like, hey, your bank called me. I heard.
Right. I heard you put some money in there. Can I have it? It happens every time. We get on to Florida. Speaking of money, Fort Pierce grandfather and veteran Bob Nelson said he wishes he had seen the warning signs before investing his entire life savings into what ended up being a cryptocurrency scam. They were all very professional, how they were presenting this. I had no idea until all of my money was gone. Truly disappointing. I'm humiliated and, at the same time, infuriated. Hear about all the time, people being tricked into putting everything online, or anything on the line for everything, only to find out either it was a scam or you lose all your money. But cryptocurrency schemes cost customers about $3.8 billion last year, twice as much as 2021. According to the Federal Trade Commission, Nelson said he thought this was a big break. A young woman approached him on Facebook. After building a relationship, they started talking about cryptocurrency. She started telling me how much money she was making on Bitcoin futures. And that interested me, of course. The woman convinced him to make an account on what he thought was the well-known token trading site called Curve. Well, he watched his investments double, then triple. Within weeks, he was making hundreds of thousands of dollars exchanging crypto online, enough to take care of his entire family, or so he thought. Well, I thought this seems to be working so well. I borrow some more money and put more money in. So he actually borrowed money.
But he was making
to invest.
money. He was making money.
That is also one of the sins of investment, is to borrow money.
Yeah, dude, don't borrow.
To invest it. And the other is to borrow money from your 401k or retirement to invest it, because it's a risky proposition. So things take a turn when he tried moving everything into his digital wallet. Nelson said a security error came up with his account, telling him he needed to put in almost $100,000 more in order to access his money online. That's when Nelson said he realized the site was fake. But by then, it was too late. I don't know where I go from here. I don't know. It's real tough, he said. Those with the Federal Trade Commission say to be aware of online love interests, trying to give investment advice. And before putting your information online, make sure to authenticate the website that it's going on so you don't get that. I don't
So she set up an entire fake website.
There was an entire fake website where he was making transactions.
Oh, okay.
It was also showing that he was making tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars exchanging the money online. His investments doubled, then they tripled. He was then making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then they asked him for $100,000 more, and that's when the guy got suspicious.
So did it say how much he invested initially?
It does not.
Okay.
His life savings is gone.
Wow, man.
So whatever he had in there was the one. My grandfather, his thing was, it wasn't that he was being scammed, but he would give money every single month to Pat Robertson and the 700 Club.
You said he was not being scammed.
I'm saying this from the spam. He knew where his money was going. He knew that,
So
right,
I see what you're saying. All right,
he knew
all
that the
right.
money was not coming back to him. This
Right.
was not an investment. He was not doing that.
He's just giving it away.
He's just basically giving it away. And it drove my mother crazy. Not because she wanted the money, because she's like, Dad,
it could be better spent.
You're getting so much more money. You could give it to the local church. Their whole Pat Robertson is fine. Pat Robertson
Does not
flies
need your money.
around on a private jet. You do not need to worry about Pat Robertson. But if you want to give money to, well, I do give money to the local church. You give a tenth of
Right.
what you give to Pat Robertson instead of giving it to the church that you walk in every Sunday. And I used to, and obviously in my mind, I think this is a scam. I don't think it's a scam to give money to your local church. But when you're talking to a level of someone like Pat Robertson or
He was the long-haired
Joel
dude.
Osteen,
Like, come on, man.
or
They're
any of
running
these
a
guys.
con. I mean, they're running a con.
There's another guy that had like a 747 he just bought, and he tries to justify it.
Yeah, I read about him.
These giant churches of that. I'm not saying that you should not go to service. I'm not saying that. Just know that Joel Osteen owns the old arena where the Houston Rockets used to play basketball.
That's what I'm
in
just looking
in
at.
Houston.
Right, it is that big of an arena.
He owns the
Right.
arena. He owns the freaking
Remember, he
arena.
lost a couple, what was it, 200,000 in cash? And they're like, can you believe somebody stole that from the safe? It's like, how do you have 200? I don't know if it's, maybe it was 100. Either way, it seemed like a lot of money to have in the back of a church.
And also, he never contested that because they drilled
Right, he
into the
didn't make
back
it a
of
big
wall.
deal.
And went, oh, no. Oh, well, God will forgive them or something like, no, you just don't want anybody prying into why you got a safe in your wall with $200,000 in it, wherever the hell it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No.
But like, it's all good. It's all good, officers.
Exactly.
To me, it's like someone stealing your drugs. Some people are dumb enough to call the cops. This is all I have left. And I go, that's great. Like, someone steal their drugs. Like, just let it go.
Yeah. I'm not saying don't be charitable. I'm not saying don't go to church. I'm not saying that. Hey, just understand where your money is going when you spend it.
Yeah.
That's all. There's some people who don't need your money. You're not going to give Warren Buffett $20 if you meet him, all right?
Here you go, Warren.
Here you go, man. Hey, get McDonald's on
Yeah,
me.
you know what? Breakfast on me tomorrow.
Probably need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what. And he was the first person to say something about Social Security. He's like, look, man. He's like, there's a lot of problems with Social Security, and I'll tell you the main one. I get a Social Security check.
Right.
I do not need the money from the federal government. Trust me, for 1 minute. I don't need their money. Please give that to someone else. I'm doing just fine. If you are worth X amount of money and you paid money in, granted, that's part of the process, but I think the reality of it is you need to understand that that's not money that you should be taking from the standpoint of, just an honesty perspective. That's
What
it.
else you did put into it?
I
mean, that's the thing.
You
Like,
did put
you kept
into
taking it out of my
I'm
check.
not saying that. I'm not saying that. That's
No,
not.
that's it. If I retire a millionaire, then yes, I'm sure I'd give all of that to some charitable thing.
Right,
Like, just
right,
forward it along.
yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to retire a millionaire. So make sure you have my address
or
right.
take that Social Security money every single month and donate it to the charity of your choice, or do something that goes a little bit farther than what it normally would if it's just sitting in your bank account, accruing more interest on the billions of dollars. That you
Or give it to Joel Osteen. He needs it.
Either way.
Hey, man, jet fuel ain't cheap.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah, he flies around in his jet, but come on, maintenance on a jet costs a lot of dough. You need to give him money for the man has to land on a runway somewhere. All right? That is a cash exchange. The dude has to pay for that. Those suits, they don't press themselves, Ted. You got to take him to the dry cleaner. They don't do it for free. He needs your money. All the hair gel he uses so that he always looks perfect on television, all the fake tanner he uses, that stuff costs money. That stuff costs money, bro. He needs your money.
I just think sometimes during a sermon, one of the old Houston Rockets should come out and just dunk a basketball.
Boom.
Clyde Drexler just comes out of nowhere.
It's my house.
Right. Keep the dream comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to dunk on you.
Clyde Drexler, or whatever the hell it is.
Right. We're putting Phi Slamma Jamma back together.
Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Less, and we've got your emails on the way from the men's room at KISW.com next.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
A peanut butter M&M's production.
In a world where Super Bowl winners get the world's admiration and a fancy ring, but the runners-up get nothing, One retired cop returned.
That's one retired quarterback. Read the script.
Oh, sorry. One retired quarterback returns to claim what's his.
That's claim a ring with diamonds made from M&M's peanut butter. But you're on a roll.
The Ring of Comfort, coming soon to a Super Bowl near you.
At Metro by T-Mobile, there's nada yada yada. That means no contracts, no price hikes, and no surprises. We don't even hide what the lawyers make us say. We put it first. When we say no price hikes, we mean when you join Metro, your price will never increase for talk, text, and smartphone data. Our only exclusions are for limited time promos, free use charges, and third-party services. Nada yada, nada yada yada, nada yada, nada yada yada. Nada yada yada means wireless without the gotcha. Only at Metro.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar, the classic cheeseburger. Hamburglar? Robble, robble. He said, the patties are juicier than ever before. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Brabble. Available at most restaurants in this area. Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Who's Next Less is on the way, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
And a couple from our question, what happened last year that you hope does not happen again, or what happened that you really hope does? Guys, hope I don't catch COVID. Hope I do get karaoke.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
I just assume at some point I'll have COVID again next year. I seem to be the luckiest.
Man, I hope not. From what I understand, the people that have gotten COVID lately, they're like, man, it's kind of an ass kicker for the first 24 hours. That's no different than it was, but people who've had it before.
Right.
So, and I got a booster, but I don't know if that, who knows?
I think in the end, it might just be like just a stronger case of the flu that we just like, yeah, you get to November, December, you're gonna deal with it.
Hi, guys. Happy New Year. I'm glad y'all are back. What happened last year? I gained all my lost weight from 2022. So I hope I lose it again and don't gain any more. What didn't happen last year? I didn't win the lottery. So I hope that happens this year. That from Iris, the bus driver. As far as the orange in the stocking, as far as the piece of fruit in the stocking at Christmas, we've got a lot of comments on this one. It says, my parents always put the orange on the bottom of the stocking, too. My mom told me that it was representing of an upcoming year of prosperity. But the internet says that this is where it came from. Placing an orange in the toe of one of the Christmas stockings may have had something to do with the legend of the 3 balls, or bags or bars of coins of gold that the Bishop of Myra, the real St. Nicholas, gave to 3 poor maidens to use as dowries. I also we got a text today that said that it went back to the Depression as far as having something sweet.
Right.
So if you couldn't
afford chocolate, so use an orange.
Yeah.
Well, the orange always shows up because if you know anybody that's English, they're always getting those the chocolate oranges.
Yes.
So that's a big thing. So I know the orange is involved, but when I talk to people, it seems to be about 30% of us always put the oranges in the stocking. The other ones are like, "What are you talking about?"
So do you think The Godfather was actually just trying to be charitable in the movies? Because every time an orange shows up, someone dies of violence.
No, that's just part of those movies.
Right. But they do make it a point. It's a stupid thing,
and
but
like
if an
if you're
orange
breaking
in the scene, someone's about to get wet.
And if you're a Breaking Bad fan, there's a death in that coincides with the oranges. Mike is the Breaking Bad guy, but after I caught up to him, I go, "Did you notice the oranges?" He's like, "What's that about?" I'm like, "It's a Godfather thing. You know somebody's going to die."
Okay. Moving on to the birthdays. Ola Bacholas, my wife and I wanted to wish our daughter Maya a very happy 12th birthday, or Mia. You may remember her as the talkative young'un that came with me when I dropped off the muffaladas a couple of months back.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Still, though, she's a great gal, even if a little misguided at times. Please remind all those boys out there that her dad has a concealed carry permit. Can we get her a kid's fish sandwich and a reverse fart? P.S. Ted, hope your birthday went well and you got lots of beer. That from the Rainy Cajun, a.k.a. Jeremy.
Fish challenge!
And all the men's room, my daughter Chloe has been waiting all year to get a birthday shout-out. 15 loves your show.
All right.
Get the 15-year-olds. Yeah. And please give her a pep talk from Coach Ted, or possibly you all talking over each other about how to be a 15-year-old girl.
We know that well.
I don't think we can do that.
You know what, us. Yeah.
You're so loved and such a rock star, Chloe. That from Chloe's mom, Tessa. Why don't we just do the pep talk from Coach Ted?
Oh, thanks, Miles.
We've never experienced the joys of being a 15-year-old female.
But it always seems awesome. They're always very happy.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Chloe.
Chloe, I'll tell you this, and this is going to sound a little harsh. You're 15. Things are very important and seem like big deals right now. But trust me, that one girl you might not like, or some boy or whatever that doesn't like you, don't sweat it. And it's hard for you to understand because you're 15. Doesn't matter if you're a girl, you can be a 15-year-old boy. But trust me, you have a lot of life ahead of you. Mm-hmm. So obviously take school serious. You know, these are important milestones you're going through, but also know in the back of your head, I'm just a teenager. This will pass.
And those people who are nice to you, Chloe, whatever the deal is, just bad things will happen to them. And then you can celebrate. Yeah!
Well, we talk about it all the time. It's just an awkward age.
It is.
I think it's probably harder on girls. But it's just...
Well, because now all the boys are leering at them.
Right. It's just a weird age. Hey, look, I did the same thing. It's something that was important to me at 15 was probably the most important thing in the world.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Gentlemen, today I enter the second half of my 30s, so perhaps a pep talk from Coach Ted and some dirty Germans will help me get my mind right while everything else on me is falling apart. Happy New Year's, bitches, and have a rockin' 2024. That from King Jeremy the Wicked.
Do you need a pep talk on?
Second half of his
Second half of 30s. My bad. Thank you, Thrill. I was like, last. Oh. All right, 35 to 40. That's a pretty sweet spot. Start planning that 40th birthday, but also a lot of your friends keep making fun of them. Because before you know it, you'll be in your early 30s and just old. Or early 40s and just old. And the jokes are tougher.
Yeah, here's the simple thing. Believe it or not, at the age of 35, you could run for president if you wanted to do that, but also... this is the age where you'll start having the best sex of your life. Because here's the thing. Now you know what you like. More importantly, you know what you're good at.
Yeah. So speaking of the president's thing, maybe you also got a cigar for your birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, timely.
Guys. Hello, guys. It's my guy Dumpster Face's birthday again. 46, getting old there, fool. Got to say thanks for everything he does for us. Have a great time in Zona watching the Hawks this weekend. Nice. Got a couple bong tokes maybe and a Nandro penis. Thanks, guys, and go Hawks. That from Jay.
Ambrotianus. 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 Ambrotianus.
I wish our fire alarm sounded like that.
Macholas, hope you all had a great holiday. Happy New Year. My name is Helen. My husband Lonnie and I are longtime listeners. We haven't been married long, but I can't imagine life without him. Today is his 50th trip around the sun. Nice. He does not ask for much, but I know he'd get a kick out of a birthday shout-out from the men's room. How about a Leroy Jenkins, a bong rip, and the dirty Germans telling him about life after 50. Thanks so much, guys, and keep up the shenanigans. That from Helen.
Yeah, congratulations on being 50 years old. Sheridan said she can't imagine life without you, so tell her life with you involves playing a little game of keep the sausage warm.
Yeah, so in Germany we call it a mouth. It's a sausage oven.
Yes, in technical terms.
Yeah, I could say it in German, too.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ja, the Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Albin, and a Happy New Year to you. A couple extra emails here. The subject is 2024. That is the new year. Is it 2024 or 2024? How we say that?
I say 2024.
I screwed it up earlier, trying to say 2022. I said something like 2022. By the way, has anybody screwed up the date writing it yet?
I have not write a check.
That's a good point.
Yeah, as soon as I write a check, I'll mess that up, but haven't gotten there yet. Guys, is the men's room coming back to KISW in 2024? No,
we will not be here this year.
That sucks.
We're out.
What else? Mike, you were the one talking about the street signs in the UK before we left. What on that one? It says, Ola bitches, it's true. Street signs in the UK do tend to be hard to see and easy to miss at times. And giving directions usually means using landmarks more so than street names. This was probably a lot more inconvenient previously, but satellite navigation has pretty much made getting lost a thing of the past. I've never taken a wrong turn since driving here. Now, what about the small roads? They may seem a little dangerous, but the UK has one of the lowest road fatality rates in the world at 2.9 per 100,000 people, which puts it in the top 10 safest. By comparison, the U.S. is 12.9 per 100,000. The reason? UK driving test is extremely difficult and requires a lot of practice and skill to pass. They do not give a driver's license to just any jamoke who can drive around the corner like they do in the United States. Cheers, guys, and Happy New Year's.
Well, those streets can get tight, too.
That's probably why they're a little stricter on it.
And he would know that is from Sean in England.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Thrill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow the Rock of Seattle KISW on Facebook, or you follow us on Twitter and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yeah, and today we have a story of a man defending the honor of his wife. We have the story of a woman defending her own honor. And finally, we have a guy who simply hates his nephew. There's no easier way to put it. But let's start in North Carolina. So have you ever heard about someone, quote, raising holy hell at work? Yeah. This is kind of a literal example of that. A 57-year-old pastor in North Carolina named Dwayne Waden, not Dwayne Wade, but Dwayne Waden. He was arrested last week after he assaulted someone who was working with his wife at McDonald's. See, his wife was training to become a manager, but she felt like the other employees were, quote, disrespecting her. So she called her husband to complain about this. Say, man, they're disrespecting me. I don't appreciate this. So Pastor Dwayne, he immediately drove down to the McDonald's, and he walked behind the counter, and he started preaching the word of God. No, strike that, he didn't. Instead, he put his hands around the neck of one of the co-workers. He then punched the victim in the face multiple times, and then pushed their head toward one of the deep fryers. That's where things started going crazy. That's when other employees decided to actually jump in and pull him apart. Now, the victim was hospitalized with minor injuries like cuts and bruises. Pastor Dwayne, he was charged with assault and battery. So, again, she calls her husband because she's pissed off. Husband shows up, and much like Will Smith bitch slapping Chris Rock as you insulted his wife, this guy bitch slaps this guy, starts punching this guy, and again was trying to dip his head in the deep fryer. That is some angry stuff right there, man. We now go to Florida, where police say a 20-year-old woman repeatedly beat her boyfriend with a Christmas tree. This during a pre-dawn skirmish in the pair's Florida residence on Christmas Eve. Now, according to a court filing, Miracle Rivera, that is her name, and her victim, 24-year-old boyfriend, they engaged in a verbal altercation about infidelity. This was early Sunday morning in the bedroom of their home. Now, we don't know if she was accusing him of cheating, if he was accusing her of cheating. That we don't know. But cops say at one point, the boyfriend, he just left the bedroom, decided he's going to sleep on the sofa out in the living room. Well, about 3:40 in the morning on Christmas Eve, that's when she decided she wasn't done. She followed him into the living room where he was lying on the couch at this point. Well, she picked up the Christmas tree and began to strike the victim with it repeatedly. So if you're like me, you're like, how big was this tree? They point out the size of the tree, not detailed in the criminal complaint, but I think that makes a big, big difference. Anyway, the tree battering resulted in the victim sustaining numerous minor scratches over much of his upper body and arms. She was subsequently arrested for domestic battery and booked into county jail. She was released from custody around 2:40 in the afternoon on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. But she pleaded not guilty to the misdemeanor count. Anyway, a judge ordered her to have no illegal contact with the victim because they've been living together for the last 2 years. So I'm going to let you go home because you guys share a place, and you can argue, but you can't assault him again. We'll see how that shakes out.
Isn't that just kind of the rule of thumb in most homes?
Like, don't have illegal contact with anyone. That's actually a stupid thing to say. Right? If illegal's part of it. Anyway, that's what he did, but he let her go home. And finally, after purchasing a meatball sandwich for his nephew, a Florida man poured Visine all over the food, which was later partially consumed by the nephew. This according to police who arrested the man on a felony poisoning charge. So,
oh, my God.
No, but here's the thing about this. You would think if you're going to do this, you would try to poison someone in private. Not this guy. James Leach is 45. He was at a market near his home when he asked an employee for a bottle of Visine due to having dry eyes. Now, upon securing the Visine, Leach opened a container of food and proceeded to pour the eye drop solution all over the meatball sandwich. Well, the worker declared that the liquid, quote, could hurt someone. Leach replied that it would only cause the victim to, quote, S himself and puke his brains out. On a pointed on the side note, the active ingredient in Visine, that would be tetrahydrozoline hydrochloride, it could actually be lethal if ingested.
The lifetime could do a whole 24 hours on that.
Right. He apparently did not watch that. Anyway, the market employee who described Leach as a regular customer said the suspect had issues with his nephew and declared that he hated his nephew. He then claimed that the victim, they reside together and have a long history of domestic-related issues. The cops added that officers, they've answered several prior calls to that particular pair's home. Now, after receiving a 911 call from the market employee, police reviewed the store security footage, which clearly showed Leach dousing the meatball sandwich with Visine. When police subsequently arrived at Leach's home, he declined to answer any questions and requested a lawyer instantly. Now, the victim said he'd only consumed a small portion of the sandwich before cops showed up, and he was completely unaware that Visine had been added to his meal. And now, while medical help was summoned for the victim, he ultimately refused treatment. Anyway, Leach was charged with poisoning food or water, which is a felony, and he's locked up in lieu of $50,000 bond, and a judge has ordered Leach, who's pleaded not guilty, to have no contact with the victim.
Okay. I will say this. I don't know which one yet sucks the least, but I will say this. I guarantee you that the Florida woman who beat her boyfriend
with a Christmas
tree, all right, she was accusing her boyfriend of him cheating on her.
We don't know.
This is my theory.
It's your theory, but we don't know if he accused her or if she accused him.
I am just saying that I know we don't know that, but I know for a fact, even if she is wrong or she is right, if I'm the person who's getting the heat, I'm like, you know what? F this. I'm going to go sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
For sure. So that for that reason, I believe that. And then she's beating him with a Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree on Christmas Eve.
I'm pretty sure that even if he did or did not do that, he was the one being accused of doing it.
That's my guess. I just don't know. I don't know.
The pastor in North Carolina, that's crazy. I mean, the poisoning in Florida, in my mind, that's the worst because you could have killed somebody.
And I don't want to name a place, but there's a very famous market in Florida that makes delicious subs. I just hope it wasn't from there.
And a meatball sub is fantastic if it's done.
That's why he set the kid up.
Right? And also, what I read from that story, too, is that it's his nephew. You did say the age of the nephew?
I don't know the age of the nephew. So they could be the same age. I don't know. But
if he dislikes him that much and they still live together, that makes me think maybe the uncle's just kind of lurching off his own sister.
Or the nephew's also an adult.
No, I think he is an adult.
Yeah, I think
he's got to be like 19 or 20 in my mind. But I'm just saying, having grown kids that still live with you is one thing. Having your brother, I'm like, he's probably lurching off this kid's mom. So no wonder the nephew doesn't like him.
It seems like their history's bad. Someone here says Christmas tree girl sucks the least. The eye drops guy sucks the most, and McDonald's deep fried strangler, the deep fried strangler, is right in the middle.
Okay.
It is, like, I would say the woman in Florida sucks the least, too, because that's just a couple. And it's Christmas Eve. But right, the guy pushing the woman like towards the deep fryer, like you would have killed her or scarred her for life.
Yes.
And then the dude who's putting the eye drops in his nephew's meatball sub, like that's just no pun intended, but it's essence.
Okay. I guess it's the Florida woman who beat her boyfriend with a Christmas tree. That's the one I'm picking.
I think the Christmas tree helps because it's holiday influence. The thing about that deep fryer, man, I've seen people burn themselves on deep fryers, myself included, but this is what I'm guessing. Seeing like what happens to ice cubes or anything with moisture in it. I would think if you dip someone's head in there, their eyeballs would explode out of their face.
Yes.
In addition to burning them, I think you'd be surprised at the damage it would do once it hits your eyes. Like,
right, and it's hot oil. I don't think people sometimes know enough the difference between like hot oil and hot water.
Right, man. Yeah, it's bad. And he's a pastor.
The debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, or on Instagram. Shot of the Day's coming up. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Do relationships have to be easy to be right? Of course not. The best relationships with friends, family, or partners happen when both people put in the time and commitment to make them great. Therapy can help. BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Give your relationship some love with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is where projects come to life. Our showrooms are designed to inspire with the latest products from top brands, curated in an inviting, hands-on environment, and a team of industry experts to support your project. We'll be there to make sure everything goes as planned, from product selection to delivery coordination. At Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery, your project is our priority.
See the latest designs from your favorite brands, including Electrolux, at your local Ferguson showroom.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, so coming up here in minutes, we'll drink and toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. A new study found the states that people moved into and out of the most last year.
And I guess most of the states they moved into are south.
Okay.
Because usually the taxes are a lot lower. The weather obviously is better.
I'll say number one moving out is California.
Okay, not bad calls at all. Actually, the states that people moved into the most. Vermont was number one.
I'm sorry, Vermont that we know of?
The Vermont that we know. Northeast, yes. Vermont.
That's where they moved.
Number one.
Here's the thing.
Because there's nobody out there.
I know, but that's what I know about Vermont. No one who lives in Vermont wants you to move there.
Right.
That is why they live there.
It's also very cold.
Isn't it kind of the same as the Montana theory? Like, everybody's like, yeah, Montana's great. Don't come here.
Yeah, don't move here.
Stay the hell out.
Visit. Don't move here.
D.C. number two for people moving into.
Really?
That doesn't shock me.
No?
Just the cost is the only thing that was... Unless they mean the whole metro area. If they mean the metro area, it makes sense because most of the surrounding areas of D.C., you're doing okay if you live there, right?
But I think it's D.C. specifically because so many people... That city's changed so much in the last 15, 20 years that, like, people are moving there as they want to move there, but you're like everybody else I know. Like, nobody I know barely live in PG County anymore.
Right.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
And then South Carolina.
Yeah, I've heard things about that. Low taxes, a lot of jobs.
You bet. And you know what? I went to South Carolina, I think once, maybe twice. Nice area.
It can be. Right, depending where you're at. Sure.
Humid as all hell.
Weather.
Yeah.
You're dealing with flooding, not necessarily the hurricanes, but the flooding from those systems.
Sure. Those skies are blue. But then the states that people are moving out of. North Dakota is number 3 on the list.
I wonder if that has to do with the fracking industry.
That also might just be the weather. It might just be so outrageous.
I just might be right with the fracking because once that business started, keep in mind how many people move there for the business.
Sure.
And then when the business starts to dry up, just the number of people that leave.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think it has to do something with those oil fields.
Okay. Number 2, Illinois.
Okay.
I don't know enough about Illinois.
Neither do I.
know Chicago.
We moved somebody who moved out of Illinois. As much as he talks about how great it is, he moved out of there.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. Chicago, honest to God, is my only Illinois experience.
But the number one place that people are moving out of has to be because of the people.
Because New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Hey, where you going?
God, that food's great, though.
It's not cheap to live there either.
The food is amazing.
The food is phenomenal. And honestly, their beaches are great.
Sure.
If you only you know of Jersey Shore is Seaside Heights, like seaside is seaside. The rest of that shore is beautiful.
Yes.
It's also, the food's great, but...
Well, they might tell you to F off, but they'll also put their arm around you and buy you a beer.
Sure.
All at the same time.
Different type of camaraderie, but...
That you can drink through your bloody nose and black eye.
We,
Look a man.
We were in, God almighty. We were in Delaware. Where did we go, Ted? What is it? Bethany, right? Is that right, guys?
Is that with you?
No.
Oh.
But you always remember this stuff. I think it's Bethany Beach, Delaware. Either way.
Did you have kids, or were you just going with the wife?
We had the kids.
Bethany.
Okay, thank you. So there's like 3 beaches right there. You can never. So had the kids, and the kids were young. But one thing about that part of Delaware, a lot of people from Jersey are there relaxing on the beach.
Okay.
It's no problem. And there was a large family in front of us. I don't mean like fat. I mean like probably 18 people deep. They're waiting on someone to show up. And you can hear every conversation they're having, and they're just having a New Jersey conversation. My kids, they're from the Pacific Northwest, man, so you don't hear stuff like this. And basically, the patriarch of this group's like, there he is. Hey, you effing F, blah, 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 we're over here. Oh, I see you big effing fat. Like, this is their greet, but they're screaming this.
Right,
they're friends.
It's a Jersey thing.
Close friends, man, but just the volume with which, and nobody batted an eye except my kids.
All right,
Like
sure.
I said, hey, man, it's just where we are in the country. They're not going to fight. They like each other.
Right. The average American believes that they are 70% healthy. What percentage of healthy would you guys say that you are?
Ooh, I would at least go 70, but I think...
Would you go 70, Steve? I've seen what you put inside of yourself, man.
I know. I'm telling you, man, every freaking time I go to the doctor, they're, you must eat your vegetables, not one.
Right, you don't eat vegetables. You eat like a dump truck. You drink like a fish. You don't exercise.
No.
Like, how could you say that you're 70%? Other than the fact that you get a clean bill from your doctor.
I'm jealous.
I don't know.
But he does get a clean bill of health every year. So, I mean,
and it's amazing when you tell your friends, I got a clean bill of health, and everyone's disappointed.
Right.
Is it really, man? That sucks. Like, no, that's good. That's a good thing. Wow.
Yeah. There's a new trend for newlyweds. They're called buddy moons.
The hell was that?
It's basically you have a honeymoon, but then your friends and family are invited.
No.
Honeymoon's about you and your...
It's going to get stinky up in this hotel room.
Your new friend.
Yeah.
It's gonna get
You don't want any
it's
part
also
of
kind of
this.
asking a lot of people. They've gone to your wedding. They've done this and that. Now we got to go on your honeymoon, too?
Well, I think it's an open invitation. Like, hey, Ted, we're going to Vegas. You want to go?
Oh, you do that on your wedding because you're going to go to a small
Vegas,
chapel.
maybe, but like if we're going to Hawaii, we're going to the Bahamas, like this thing we really wanted to do.
It would just feel a little creepy.
Right.
As the friend point of view, I'm like, what? No.
Right. Like,
I
I'll
love
go
you
on
guys.
vacation with you. Like, we'll go on a trip up to Vancouver or something like that.
Yeah,
but
the honeymoon.
It's
Yeah.
your honeymoon,
Right,
dude.
if you're calling it your honeymoon, like, all right.
Right. I shouldn't be there.
I should be getting a mouth hug in the back of a bus. Like that is what the honeymoon's going to be. You don't want any part of this.
Greyhound.
Yeah.
All right. New year, new you, guys. We hear about it all the time, and there's a handful of people that might be out looking fresh in the job market. You know what?
Sure.
2024, that's going to be the year that they're going to go out and get it done. However, some of them might be sabotaging themselves in the interview process without even knowing. Luckily, I've got you covered.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 reasons why you're not getting hired. Maybe you're just not good looking enough. Maybe the other person was just more qualified than you. And in so many ways, you have no idea. That person is going to be a big asset. And I can see morale around the office perking right back up. In fact, I feel a raise in their future.
And we're back.
I wish I was there for his job interview. Are you qualified for the job? Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Are you call yourself a team player? Sure.
So these tips and tricks actually come from somebody who was a hiring manager for 12 years, and this is basically what they saw that kind of put you at the bottom of the list, as it were. So one thing that people are doing is asking for feedback after a rejection. Why didn't I get hired? It says it's totally normal to want to know the answer to this question, and I always understand when people ask for feedback. After all, you're trying to improve and learn, and they appreciate that.
Sure.
But it's not the best look.
It's not. It's like, why don't you want to go on a date? Like, just accept it and move on.
That and telling you why you weren't hired opens up a host of legal problems, they say. And every HR person out there will advise the hiring manager just not get into it. It just didn't happen.
I cannot give you that answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, man.
Hey, don't worry about it. Move on to the next one. Lying about having another offer on the table. Some candidates try to pit companies against each other by saying that they have another offer from XYZ company. Says, but if I can beat that offer, they'll come to my company. This tactic is very common, and it's okay to use a competitive offer as leverage during negotiations, but
not until you get the offer.
Right.
It needs to be, I have the offer, and hey, guys, for roughly the same job, this place is offering me X amount of dollars.
Right.
We had someone try to pull that. Remember that? I have another offer. Okay, off you go.
All right, bye. All right. Good times. Yeah, he said that they actually did do that they lied about having another offer as a bluff. As soon as it was like, all right, go off, then they came back and apologized, fessed up to it, like, I actually don't have another offer on the table. Okay, well, now I really don't want you.
I mean, it also is, like, that's just a good negotiation technique.
Yeah.
If you have another offer, then...
If you have one,
so go out and get another offer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just have one first, that's all.
BSing your answers. Again, these are job hunting mistakes that may take you out of the running. BSing your answers says, don't know the answer to one of my questions. The temptation is strong to make something up and then throw in some fancy-sounding words that aren't very specific to make it appear that you know what you're talking about. Also, they probably know what they're talking about.
Right.
So, just... if you don't know, respond with, yeah, you don't know.
That's something that have to be trained up on. Right?
Exactly.
That's the way to put it.
Right.
Or the old standby.
I don't freaking know. I don't know. Not preparing properly shows up on the list.
What would preparation for a job interview be?
So what they say is you should never show up for an interview without doing a little bit of research first. This means researching everything from the company to the specific position to the location of the interview. Okay. The ideal candidate will show up 10 minutes early and be prepared with basic knowledge about what the company is and what we do, a memory of the job description, and some questions for me. Not doing this makes you look green at best and lazy at worst.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I get that.
A little bit of preparation work never hurt nobody.
I know that someone who worked here years ago, when they put together the quote-unquote the demo tape, as it were, to get in the radio.
Yeah.
They did not work here, but what they did was listen to the station, record all of our promotional stuff. You're listening to KISW.
Yeah.
And put this thing together with that stuff played. So you heard what they'd sound like if they were here.
There you go.
And they got the job.
Bingo.
And I thought, like, that's brilliant. That's actually really smart.
Hell yeah, dude. Letting your nerves overwhelm you. Says you've made it through all the hoops. You've got your face-to-face interview scheduled. Hooray. It's normal to be nervous, but don't let anxiety completely derail you. Says, yes, we want to hear your answer to our questions, but even more, we're looking for whether you're a good fit for the culture of the job. That'll depend a lot on your personality.
I was going to say, and like, you know, I'm just imagining somebody with bad anxiety reading that, like, oh, now I'm going to be worried about that.
Do I sound not anxious enough?
Yeah, I mean, some of that'll have to do with the interviewer as well.
Sure.
Right. That goes a long way.
What I mean?
Right. Don't be intimidating. And if you see that you are being intimidating, maybe dial it back just a little bit.
But even when I was like 17, 18, going for random jobs, like, you could tell the people trying to be intimidating.
Yes. Yes, you can. That is a fact, Ted.
Right. It's like, it's a driving range, dude. Chill out.
It's not that serious.
That was so intense.
Who's done this? Not talking to your references before listing them.
Don't ever do that.
How could you list I mean, if you're going to list it, they should know.
Yeah. People sometimes think that having references, generally one or two professional contacts, a previous boss, and a personal friend, is just formality. Having good references is important, though, as they give us important information about your personality, work ethic, values, history. We do absolutely call them as part of the pre-hiring background check, but if I call your reference and they don't have anything nice to say about you, they don't remember or know who you are, or worse, they mention some of your shortcomings, they could definitely be the reason that you're not getting hired.
I always thought that the idea of the references was ridiculous, only because most people I know, you definitely contacted people. Hey, can I use you as a reference?
Sure.
Absolutely. You know that person's going to say something good. So my point of view was, I'm not going to bother to call you references because I have a hard time believing that you picked anyone who you thought for a second is going to, you know what I mean?
Is going to
say something bad about you. It's like, of course.
Right.
I guess not, of course, but I would assume that since this is due diligence on your part, to tell me who to call as a reference for you, that you didn't pick anyone that's like, yeah, I dated his ass.
Right.
Like,
That's why I don't put you down as a reference.
And if it's your friend, let them know that, hey, you were my general manager last job I had from...
That was part of the thing. You were my general manager.
Right.
I was the guy's IT manager. I was working in restaurants at the time, and this was his first job in IT. We worked in restaurants together. So, hey, man, use you as a reference. Yeah, no problem. He goes, we worked in IT. I'm like, bro, you got to hope they don't ask IT questions. Like, I don't think they will. It'll be about work ethic.
Yeah.
So I did take his work ethic at the restaurant and apply that to the IT world. He got the job. Not because of me, but he didn't not get it because of me.
Okay, so the most unexpected one was someone I knew, family member, who applied for a job with the FBI, CIA.
Nice.
Do not use me as a reference.
They go find you.
Oh yeah.
So you don't know it's coming. I mean, they check whatever.
Right.
They already have the information. They already know everything. If you're a candidate, they've already dug into your stuff.
If anyone of my family is listening, please do not apply to the FBI or the CIA.
This was a personal reference on a family member.
Right.
So I don't have any idea from a professional standpoint if they are qualified for this job. This was a
Did you tell them that? I don't know.
It was a character. It was about the person's character more so. Personal questions about them through their life.
Well, I know that son of a bitch can find drugs.
Well, she got the job. She still has the same job. She still works there.
Nice.
I'm like, wow. This is like, no, you're not from there.
Right.
Like, sir.
They call you?
Oh, sure. This is the FBI.
Oh, yeah.
I would not believe that and said, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. And she had no idea that they were calling me.
Oh, God.
Or any of the other people that they called. I don't know who they all.
Job hunting mistakes that take you out of the running, not editing your resume and cover letter.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, I don't have to explain that one. Edit it up. And again, I think it even just edit it up a little bit. Showing up without a scheduled interview.
Oh,
there's some that kind of hold this particular thought process. However, it says there's a popular job hunting tip that makes the rounds every few years, telling people it's better to deliver your resume in person. According to the tip, this allows the hiring manager to put a face to the name and shows initiative. This is not a good idea, and chances are you won't make it past the front desk anyhow. Similarly, don't call the hiring manager directly unless you're told to. Hiring managers are very busy, and anything that you do goes outside our hiring protocols is going to be unhelpful at best. And at worst, it's going to get your resume dropped straight into the trash.
I did get one job just impromptu walking in.
Yeah?
And we don't have that position. I'm like, but I believe that you need it. I believe that you do, and here's why. And she was not impressed with me at first, but she ended up talking to me for about 45 minutes, and I got a chance to fail.
There you go.
That's all you ask for. Like, hey, man, if I'm wrong, fire my ass, right?
Part of how I got this job was I showed up without being told to.
Really?
I don't know if you guys remember this. So this was after I was already an intern for you guys. I think I might have been on the street team at this point. I'm not positive.
What?
But I remember my old man told me, man, just go down there and just start going to work. Ask them if they need any help or anything like that. And it was coming up on the holiday season, and so I emailed Ben, and I was like, you need anybody to make best of? He's like, actually, yeah, I'm pretty swamped in here if you could. So I just showed up and started making them, and then BT comes out and he's like, I'm not going to tell you that it was a good idea for you to do that. I am going to tell you to not ever do that again.
Yeah. I had no idea.
Thank you for doing that. Don't ever do that again.
Look at the badass Mike. I like that move. That's a power move, brother.
Sent an email.
Yeah. That's right. That's all it was. So at least know who it is that you're doing this for when you go in.
I'm trying to think if I've ever
years ago, we had a chick, and we did not know that you can't do this, all right? So we're working in Baltimore. This chick calls in, and she was a little loopy, but, hey, I'll answer phones for you guys. Okay. And she was there 2 weeks to a month, maybe.
Yep.
And one of the bosses just said, who is that? And we introduced her, and he was very cordial with her. She goes home and are you paying her? We said, no. She liked the show, just wanted to come in and answer phones, and she does a fine job. Do you remember her name, Ted? It was like an older black chick. She had glasses. Kind of crazy, but good at doing it, man. And they're like,
I don't.
You cannot
just have her answer phones.
Oh, I'm like, our bad, dude.
I was trying to get a job with these two. I didn't know I was trying to get a job with you. I just called my old boss and said, hey, I just got fired. He said, I don't think I might have something for you in line. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but I can't talk to you about it yet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, look, whenever things come up, just let me know. Because I'm supposed to take a weekend trip and fly to Kansas City for an interview.
Yeah.
Right.
That next weekend. He said, don't fly to Kansas City. And I said, okay. He said, could you do me a favor? It's like, yeah, man, whatever. I mean, could you come in and work an overnight tonight? I'm like, there's a hurricane, Bill. He's like,
that's why I need you.
Yeah, that's why I need you. I'm like, damn it, man, you're setting me up.
And didn't you change your name at every break?
Well, I wasn't allowed to go on the air at a community radio station. So every single break, I just gave a different name that had something to do with the weather.
Stormy Johnson. Yeah, Stormy Johnson.
But then the number one job hunting mistake that takes you out of the running. I feel like it's something everybody's done. Fudging your skills or experience.
I assume you did.
Right.
Yeah.
I absolutely look. There's two things I believe in any job interview. You fudge, it doesn't mean you're incompetent, but you certainly have fudged your skills or how well you work with others, right? Sure. And your boss is pretending to be considerably nicer and patient than they probably are.
Right. But they do say what to do instead. One of the best job interview tips I can give you is be honest about what you can and can't do. It says, I love when candidates tell me, quote, I don't know that yet, but I'd love to learn. In the meantime, you can also do a little career cushioning by learning new skills that make you more marketable.
Yeah, you might embellish a little bit of your skill set, but if you literally have no idea how something works, you can't just
don't do it.
I can do that.
Right.
Hire me to write code. I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
We have no idea what this is.
I've been thinking about getting into for a while now. You think you can just walk in and be a surgeon?
Yeah, right. A distracted driver in Pennsylvania managed to crash into a guardrail, but as to what distracted her, you'll just have to wait until 5:50 to find out.
Okay, we'll wait till 5:50. Mike, appreciate it. In the meantime, we've got your headlines coming on the way at 5:50. Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized.
I need to get a test online to profile this. I'm rusty.
Oh, wow.
Nobody noticed.
Hey, look,
let me say it again.
We need to get a contestant online for profile this 206-803-ROCK. Okay, now have we made it to drinking time?
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
Do relationships have to be easy to be right? Of course not. The best relationships with friends, family, or partners happen when both people put in the time and commitment to make them great. Therapy can help. BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Give your relationship some love with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cyclists, get ready to shift gears. Newport, Oregon is calling you for an unforgettable ride along the stunning Pacific Coast. Whether you're a casual rider or a mountain biking pro, Newport has the perfect trail for you. They've got it all: scenic coastal roads, bike lanes, and rugged trails. Cruise along the Yaquina Bay waterfront or delve into their charming neighborhoods. There's something for everyone. Your adventure starts at discovernewport.com. That's discovernewport.com.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
Do relationships have to be easy to be right? Of course not. The best relationships with friends, family, or partners happen when both people put in the time and commitment to make them great. Therapy can help. BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Give your relationship some love with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
In the meantime, we've got your headlines coming on the way at 5:50. Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized.
I need to get a test online to profile this. I'm rusty.
Nobody noticed.
Hey, look,
let me say it again.
We need to get a contestant online for profile this 206-803-ROCK. Okay, now have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, Bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast one Ilter Turkmen of Tekirdağ, Turkey. That is actually a mouthful to say. Yes. Right. Ilter Turkmen of Tekirdağ, Turkey. He was actually one of our inspirations for today's question of the day earlier, but he deserves shot of the day status. You see, our man, Ilter, he apparently, well, he's a well-to-do banker, but for all of his riches, the one thing he lacked was an impressive penis. That's right, erect. He sported 4.7 inches of meat hammer, but his doctor assured him that this penis enlargement surgery would assure him of at least 1.1 inches of length and 1.1 inches of girth. Well, Ilter, he was sold. He had the surgery, and he woke up to an even smaller penis, a smaller beef bugle than before. And because of complications during the surgery, he lost about half an inch of his crotch cobra, and it's permanently scarred. That is our shot of the day today. We hate the fact that we brought him up twice, but we all saw this story earlier. I'm just like, did you see this? Again, you just want a bigger penis. It's not that you didn't get a bigger penis. You came out with a smaller penis. And as he said, disfigured. So good times. Good times. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Yes, Steve at Thrill Hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I just might be able to do that, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Jamie. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. Jamie, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir, I do.
Fantastic. You have a choice of one of three stories. We have The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon. And finally, today, we offer you Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
I think I'm going to go with the animal. Animalize This.
All right, here is your story. I know. Here's your story. We go to the lovely and beautiful Newark, New Jersey, where passengers on passing trains took photos and videos of an unusual sight. Quote, I looked out the window and it was there. It was just kind of running down the track there. That according to one Jason Monticelli. Quote, I thought maybe it was a PR stunt or something like that, considering the stadium was right there. But yeah, he was just kind of trotting along. We were just trying to figure out what and where the animal came from. Now, police responded before multiple agencies eventually found the animal and trapped it inside of a fenced lot near the Newark Liberty International Airport. Bless you, Mike. Newark officials said the animal was tranquilized and it will be taken to a local animal sanctuary. And the good news is no injuries were reported throughout the incident, but it's still unclear where the animal came from. New Jersey Transit said there were delays of up to 45 minutes between Newark Penn Station and Penn Station in New York due to the police activity because none of the trains wanted to run over this animal that insisted on running down the track. So the question is, what was this animal that was running down the tracks in lovely and beautiful Newark, New Jersey? Was it a monkey? Was it a sheep? Was it a bull or was it a zebra? So monkey, sheep, bull, or zebra. One of these four animals was running down the subway tracks.
All right. Monkey, sheep,
bull, or zebra?
Yeah, monkey, sheep, bull, or zebra.
All right. Can I get a little...
I mean, none of them really make sense. The only one, but nobody really stopped it, right?
Nobody really, because keep in mind, they're on passing trains. So everyone's looking out the windows going like, you've got to be kidding me. And they called the cops. The cops and other agencies showed up, shut down all the transit for 45 minutes, and they're the ones that ended up tranquilizing.
Based on the fact that nobody knew who owned this thing, I'm going, Jamie, I'm going to go zebra because I think that would be the thing that I would take a picture of if I was in a train. Like, look, there's a zebra out there. I'm not saying that a monkey or a sheep or a bull wouldn't be shocking.
I don't take pictures of Jersey monkeys.
I'm just saying if it's a zebra, which I could see someone having domesticated or whatever, domestically or on a farm, whatever the deal is. But
I'm going to say bull.
Bull.
People don't want to know this. If it was a sheep, they would have just kind of kept going.
Okay.
I'm sure they could.
All right, Jamie, what do you think?
It's true, Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you, Miles, with the zebra.
I'm going zebra. Okay.
Zebra.
Yeah.
What did those folks on that New Jersey train see? Was it a monkey, sheep, bull, or zebra? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car right in your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
At Metro by T-Mobile, there's not a yada yada. That means no contracts, no price hikes, and no surprises. We don't even hide what the lawyers make us say. We put it first. When we say no price hikes, we mean when you join Metro, your price will never increase for talk, text, and smartphone data. Our only exclusions are for limited time promos, pre-use charges, and third-party services. Nada yada, nada yada yada. Nada yada, nada yada yada. Nada yada yada means wireless without the gotcha. Only at Metro.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories analyze this on Profile This. We go to New Jersey where people on a few trains there saw an animal running down the tracks or on the side of the road of the railway there. Either way, the animal was taken into, I guess, custody, so to speak, or not euthanized, but
tranquilized.
Yeah, taken to a sanctuary. So the question is, was it a monkey, a sheep, a bull, or a zebra?
Jamie, that is the very question that we posed to you. Let's see. You agreed with Miles Montgomery and you went zebra. I'm afraid it was not a zebra.
Sorry, bro. Sorry,
that was Miles' fault, man. Doesn't know his animals that run down the subway tracks of Newark, New Jersey. And Ted, you said a bull.
Correct.
Aha! Because Ted knows his Newark, New Jersey subway track dwelling animals.
I just think it's so big that everybody's like, we're not messing with it.
Well, the guy that gave the quote for the story, he said he thought it was a PR stunt, but specifically, he thought it was a PR stunt for Red Bull.
All right.
Because that's the kind of thing they do, yeah. But yeah.
I was about to say, how's the stock market? I'm like, I don't know. The bull from Stockholm. Outside of Barrel
He's racing to New York.
He's racing down the street.
No, it's the Schlitz Malt Liquor Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Now for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, we were gone, so you got a lot of options.
Okay.
Obviously, you have the Jimmys.
Kimmel and Fallon.
Seth Meyers. We got Weekend Update. Bill Maher. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The Twilight guys have talented teams of writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
ESPN has apologized after a woman flashed her breasts during the broadcast of the Sugar Bowl on Bourbon Street, making it the greatest football game I've ever seen, says one teenage boy.
The Ted Smith.
The Ted Smith.
That's me. I was thinking, if you're a Husky fan going through that age, this is great. Huskies win, and I saw a boob.
Well, I'm 54. I was happy to see it.
Still cool.
Don't apologize.
They have to, but I get it.
You see that in New Orleans.
Authorities in Georgia are looking for a woman that allegedly posed as a Waffle House employee. Worked at the Waffle House for 2 hours and stole some cash from the register. Spokesperson for Waffle House is calling her Employee of the Month.
SNL.
Yeah, Weekend Update.
Myers.
Authorities in Georgia are looking for a woman who allegedly posed as a Waffle House employee, worked at the restaurant for 2 hours, and then stole cash from the register. A spokesman for Waffle House is calling her Employee of the Month.
Oh.
Myers.
Yep. The family that was planning a trip to Disney World meant to buy a bunch of Disney Park gift cards, but they actually accidentally bought $10,000 worth of gift cards for Disney Plus. $10,000 on streaming, or as Netflix calls it, a one-year subscription.
Myers.
Fallon.
The family that was planning a trip to Disney World meant to buy a bunch of Disney Parks gift cards, but they accidentally bought $10,000 worth of gift cards for Disney Plus. $10,000 on streaming, or as Netflix calls it, a one-year subscription. There you go.
New report shows that Loma Linda, California is the city most likely to become a blue zone, which is an area where people are healthier and live longer. While the town least likely to turn into a blue zone is once again breakfast fettuccine, Texas.
Seth, either Seth or Weekend Update. I'll go Seth.
It's a Weekend Update.
Report shows that Loma Linda, California is the city most likely to become a blue zone, which is an area where people are healthier and live longer. While the town least likely to become a blue zone is once again breakfast fettuccine, Texas.
Texas would make it. That seems about right. All right, a couple things. First of all, weather can be effective. Sometimes it goes against your best laid plans. The week before Christmas, there was one day that was super foggy. Mm-hmm. Like, I won't lie. That evening, I didn't want to drive my car. I was like, man, this sucks. And then also on New Year's Eve, Seattle kind of made national news coverage because couldn't quite see all the fireworks on the Needle because of all the smoke. So basically, that's a weather event that had happened, right? So where the camera is, the sulfur in the clouds and in the fog just kind of stayed there, so you couldn't see as much of it. But it is funny. I've seen some cell phone videos, people on the ground, like, you can't even see the Needle.
Yeah.
Right? Just like, all right, these things happen.
And I heard it took about till 2 a.m. to get that area just cleared out, traffic-wise. Jesus. Like South Lake Union, Lower Queen Anne, Uptown, all that area, just Belltown. Apparently it was just a...
So I love college football. So traditionally, I don't really go out on New Year's Eve a ton to begin with. But especially when I lived in Belltown, because it was like, I lived at 2nd and Wall. So basically you could just, like, my one neighbor would be like, just come down here. We'll just go out on the balcony and watch it. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, why would we leave like, you're in the main area already. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, it definitely.
You don't need to do anything.
Correct. But you're right. I remember that traffic and people walking for I don't know how long. But, I mean, we would just sit there on the balcony and just kind of chirp people, yell, go Hawks, something like that.
I think it's 2nd downtown. It's just got a direct shot on the Needle. Just look down their street real quick.
Yeah. There's a few of them, right? So it's pretty cool. Also, I'm going to talk about the Huskies. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit bowl stuff, all right? Some people don't like college football bowls. They think there's too many of them. I am not one of those people, and I think they're all wrong. Number one, the last few years, we've had an introduction to some crazy stuff with the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl. Mm-hmm. Their mascot, of course, Tubby. He's a tub of mayonnaise. After you win that bowl game, your coach gets doused in Duke's mayonnaise. The Cheez-It Bowl, they throw Cheez-Its on everybody. Did you guys see any of the Pop-Tarts Bowl?
I did not.
All right. They had promised an edible mascot, which seemed kind of crazy. The winning team gets an edible mascot. So basically, also their trophy when you win it was an actual toaster, the football part. So 2 hot Pop-Tarts would pop out of it. And then at the end of the game, they took the guy. Oh, I can't think of his name right now. It's not Poppy or Tardy. He's like got a sign and he just goes into a giant, what looks like a toaster. And then what comes out of it is just a massive Pop-Tart. The winning team got to eat. Right. But I was just like, this is pretty cool. Then the next day or 2 days later, I'm watching the Cheez-Its Bowl and the can't remember if it's Prince Cheddarsworth. One of them just had a sign that said, "I will not be eaten." I was like, that's kind of wild. But look, bowl games are silly and stuff, but they do help your program. You get some extra practice. But the mascots and stuff, like, it's awesome.
They're making it a lot more fun.
They do.
Where it used to be like the Liberty Bowl, brought to you by Mutual of Omaha.
Right. Yeah. And Miles, I think West Virginia, did they win that Duke's mayonnaise?
Yeah, they did.
Neil
Brown got covered in mayonnaise.
Yeah, they kicked the crap out of Carolina. Yeah, so that was pretty good. But I like all that gimmicky stuff. It's awesome. Let's see. Seahawks, that wasn't a great game.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. I was there in person. Lovely weather. Yeah. Great tailgate. Then they started playing football. But I think a lot of people in this area will be excited. The Washington Huskies next Monday will be in the national championship game.
That is a big deal.
Massive deal.
Is it 91 the last time?
So they won a national title in 91, but
It was a tie, and it was still an undefeated season.
They're undefeated, but they didn't play Miami, right? So that's the huge argument, and it's I guess, shared national title.
Right.
I don't like saying disputed. That sounds dirty.
Well, they always say shared.
Well, and
Right.
I think Michigan, so Washington's going to play Michigan in the national title. I think Michigan's last title is disputed because that would have been in 97, which I believe they shared with Nebraska.
Yeah, the shared thing I don't like.
Well, that was just back in the day before you had games. You could every once in a while you get a number one versus number two, but it was pretty rare.
Right.
So you had those things, but also, and look, I know as I grew up on the East Coast, a massive sports fan. Like there is an East Coast bias. People just don't see the West Coast games because they're so late.
That's true.
I don't know that we made a ton of Washington fans having that game on January 1st. And that game didn't end till what? I mean, it was late out here. So you imagine people on the East Coast barely stayed up for it.
But it was worth it.
It was. I was talking to somebody a couple days before the game, and I just said to him, I was like, God forbid children wanted to watch an important football game. And I get you put it in prime time because of ratings and this and that, but I'm like, that game didn't start till almost 9 o'clock on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Like,
all right.
That's a little rough.
You know the college world better than I do. But,
Yeah.
so there's only a handful of coaches that have been successful in the college ranks and then moved on to the NFL ranks and done well. There's the Pete Carrolls of the world.
Coach Carroll's definitely
There's
one
the
of
Jim
them.
Harbaughs of the world, the Barry Switzers of the world.
Sure.
But and just hypothetically speaking here, because the Baltimore Ravens in 2015 went to New Orleans and beat the San Francisco 49ers.
2012.
2012, sorry. Yeah. God, that seems like a long time ago.
It was.
With Jim Harbaugh.
It was a long time
Jim
ago.
Harbaugh is the coach. Joe Flacco, who's still playing as the quarterback. Colin Kaepernick is the quarterback for the 49ers. They lose the Super Bowl. Jim Harbaugh is now playing in the national championship game. Has there ever been a coach that has lost the Super Bowl and also lost a national championship game? Because there's only a handful of people that could have done it.
That have done both.
Yeah,
Right.
have lost.
I'm just trying to think of coaches that have even been to both.
Right, exactly. Pete Carroll, I believe he won.
Oh, you know what Pete Carroll's?
USC.
But he also lost one to Texas and then lost the Super Bowl.
So he's the first one.
Yeah.
Yay,
Okay.
he's like, cool, thanks for bringing me
All
back.
right. Well, I'm just saying. I wonder how many times that potentially could happen,
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I agree. I think Harbaugh's probably leaving either way. And look, I'm not a big Jim Harbaugh guy, but to his credit, and like I said, we were saying earlier today, like he kind of skirts the rules. I don't think he's done anything the worst in the world.
Right.
But to his credit, his player, whether pro or college, do like him and stand by him.
Mm-hmm. They do.
So, I mean, he's doing something right there, and he's been credit. But also, when you look at DeBoer out here for Washington, like this is his first massive university job, but he's another guy that just was spending a year here, 2 years there.
He bounced around a lot.
But every level he went to, he just kept winning. So it's like
that Fresno record's crazy.
Yeah, and even what was that a couple years ago with Jimmy Lake? Because my buddy's a much bigger Husky fan. He grew up here, and I remember telling him there's talent all over that team. And I'm not saying it was all in Jimmy Lake, but it just didn't work, and they were losing games they shouldn't have. But then last year you start seeing it, and then this year, and they just win games. I've seen them play twice in person. So I mean, I see why the national media kind of gives them crap, but right now it's of course Michigan's going to be favored, but why not take the Huskies?
Also, I don't believe
they weren't favored in the Pac-12 championship, even though they beat Oregon. They won. They weren't favored, the other night against Texas. They won.
But I also don't think they played their best football that I've seen them play this year. So I think they can play better than they played against Texas. I mean,
yeah.
So who knows?
That was the game you'd hoped. It was way too close at the end. There was some weird stuff there. But Mike and I were talking about it a week before. I was like, that's going to be a shootout. And credit, both those final two games were what you hoped, right? You didn't have to have a dog in the race to sit there and watch both those games and be like, all right, these are
I've
pretty
also
good
never
teams.
seen an instance where your own player getting injured almost made the
Cost you the
difference in a
game,
game based on clock management and how much time would have expired. That was just this cannot be happening. This is the worst case scenario. This is the only thing that can stop that clock.
That one was pretty crazy. And I've never seen that either. I didn't even know that was a rule. So literally,
they stopped the clock for that. As soon as you went down, I said to everyone I'm watching with, I said, this is not good. What? His injury is not severe. I'm not saying. So they're going to stop the clock. And sure enough, maybe 3 more seconds ticked off. Then they added more time to the clock. I said, that would be their undoing.
And if I hop off on one foot, do they still call timeout? Like, he's obviously...
I don't know. That's one of those things, too. You don't want anybody to be, like, injured, super hurt, but, like...
if you can hop off, like, okay, it's not super hurt. Because Miles was like, I'm just trying to get... You're waving, like, your replacement in.
Can someone pick me up and carry me off the damn field?
Get me the hell off the field.
What is the rule?
Right, because if you're watching a football, especially in college, you'll see guys from the other team just lay on the ground to either stop an offense that's rolling.
You see it all the time. But that's what I said to Miles. The problem with this one was they know he's not bluffing because this is a detriment to his team.
Correct.
Right? You know you have to stop the clock, even though the team doesn't want you to, but dude is clearly injured.
Right, and we're all soccer fans in here, so obviously we're used to seeing it. And also, that week between Christmas and New Year's is just great, right? You had NFL, you have all this college football. If you like English soccer, every team was playing 3 games in there. Some people just pissed away a title hope there, Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal fan. But also, if you like hockey, there was like the World Juniors, besides the regular NBA going on and stuff. Like, I'll stick to October as the best month. But man, that week in between's pretty cool.
That outdoor NHL stuff was cool.
Yeah, we had the Winter Classic here.
Seattle looked good.
They were throwing live fish.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
I thought they were fake fish. And then my buddy's like, those are real fish. They were so real. We were going to another friend's house to watch that Husky game, and I said, if we want to be real fans, we should show up with a full fish.
Walter Jones he was up there. Jay Buhner.
Yeah. It was. I mean, look,
it was very cool.
And I know that was January 1st, but what a great year for sports in Seattle, showing off for the rest of the country. Sure. Some of our teams didn't do as well as we wanted, but you had the All-Star game here. I think the Winter Classic was a massive success.
47,000 people.
Right, there was people down there getting to skate on the ice today before they tear it down and everything else. So I mean, and
now a national championship game.
And then on Monday you got the team from here playing. Like there was a lot going on Monday. It was a hell of a way to cap off the break there and stuff.
Yeah, thank God for those games. The city looks much cleaner.
Yeah, I know.
What is it going to take? I'll tell you what we'll do. Bring in some sports.
Seriously.
We brought up TC earlier. If you like the new version of Magnum PI, good news and bad news. There's back-to-back episodes tonight. Bad news, it's the series finale.
Okay. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Do relationships have to be easy to be right? Of course not. The best relationships with friends, family, or partners happen when both people put in the time and commitment to make them great. Therapy can help. BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Give your relationship some love with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A peanut butter M&M's production.
In a world where Super Bowl winners get the world's admiration and a fancy ring, but the runners-up get nothing, one retired cop returns...
That's one retired quarterback. Read the script.
Oh, sorry. One retired quarterback returns to claim what's his.
That's claim a ring with diamonds made from M&M's peanut butter. But you're on a roll.
The Ring of Comfort, coming soon to a Super Bowl near you.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to North Carolina, where one McDonald's employee isn't loving it at all. Meanwhile, a man who goes in for a penis enhancement surgery ends up being very small. To New Mexico, where they now want to make having sex with a corpse a crime. Minnesota truck driver almost drove his truck for the very last time. And a dog in Oklahoma is actually happy that a cat lives in his home. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story. We're going to Pennsylvania for one sweet distraction. Authorities were alerted to a minor crash on the highway after a distracted driver lost sight of where she was going and managed to crash into the guardrail. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the incident, but one of the tires on the car did unfortunately go flat as a result of the impact. But the real story is what distracted this driver. As it was the holiday season, this driver admits that she was distracted while eating a delicious Christmas cookie at the time of the crash.
How do you get distracted eating a Christmas cookie?
That is a really good cookie.
Maybe getting it out of the wrap? No, she's saying, hey, look, I was eating it.
It might, to be honest with you, Ted, I'm not entirely positive. It might be that she was digging through a bag to try to fish one out. Maybe she wasn't, eating it, and it was just...
That would make sense.
A fascinatingly delicious cookie.
Or she dropped it, crumbed on her, and she looked down real quick, and all of a sudden...
Or so good, she closed her eyes.
She just sideswiped the guardrail, so it's not like she, drifted off into the other lane of traffic, but... Yeah, I don't fully know. No word on if any charges will be filed. I just want to know what kind of cookie that she was eating.
Yeah, I want to know what that cookie is.
In other news,
I bet I know who made it.
Yeah, you know what? That's a fair call. That's a fair
I'd
call.
crash a car for those cookies.
Damn right. In other news, a pastor in North Carolina is behind bars for not turning the other cheek. He had gotten a call from his wife, a manager in training at the local McDonald's, to complain that the employees under her leadership were, quote, disrespecting her. In a brazen display of support for his wife, the pastor rushed to the location, stormed behind the counter, grabbed the disrespectful employee by the back of the neck, and attempted to push their face into one of the deep fryers. The employee also suffered a beatdown at the hands of the holy man, leaving them with multiple contusions and scratches before fellow employees were able to pull the husband off. Police were called, and surveillance footage of the incident was proof enough to arrest the man for assault.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
Way to keep your cool. We go to Las Vegas, where one man couldn't wait for a later flight. Reports came in after the suspect managed to steal himself a small aircraft at about 2 in the afternoon and started a voyage west. The 40-year-old was able to successfully guide the aircraft into California and land on a roadway just outside of a small airport northeast of Los Angeles, where he was contacted by local authorities. After a brief encounter, the man attempted to flee police, who didn't know at the time that he had stolen the plane. They just showed up because he landed on the road out there, and they just wanted to figure out what was going on. They didn't know that the plane was stolen.
Speaking of landing on the road, did you see the story locally where the guys, 2 guys right across the street here did a little base jumping?
No!
Oh, yeah. They jumped right on the top of that damn building, man.
God damn.
Oh, yeah.
Why weren't we working at that time? That'd have been cool to see.
I know.
Damn it. He was eventually captured and faces charges in both states. And I know that's all bad news right there. And just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
Over in Oklahoma, it turns out that cats and... See, I'm doing good news now. Because
Good news. Alan Thicke said it.
Okay.
And if you don't trust Alan Thicke, who can you trust?
Exactly. There's just too much bad news out there. So let's do a little bit of good news there. Over in Oklahoma, it turns out that cats and dogs can be friends indeed. A family found their security footage of what happened to their small Havanese dog after she came inside dripping blood. Turns out that a pack of coyotes found the small dog and attacked, but their assault was brought to an end by an unlikely hero. A neighborhood cat that rushed in and managed to scare the predators away.
Meow, meow.
The Havanese was brought to a local vet and went through a couple procedures to be brought back to health, but she's recovering just fine. And it did not look good for a while there. So I saw pictures of this dog, and of course, it's a Havanese, which I don't know if you know. These are they're little white puffball dogs. They're adorable. I knew one very, very well. My buddy had one. So they're sweet dogs. And this poor thing is just laying on its side. Its foot is in a full foot cast, a full leg cast, because this dog was about to not make it, or at least was about to lose this leg. And
it's amazing that a cat. I think every animal recognizes your average house cat is a true psychopath.
Yes.
Like we could probably take it in the end, but is it worth it?
Right. And they even mentioned that this neighborhood cat showed up out of nowhere. This little cat named Banks, which I got to assume is based off of the Halloween movie Hocus Pocus, but that's neither here nor there. But just showed up. Thackeray Banks. Anyway.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But anyway, just showed up out of nowhere at one day and just kind of became, the neighborhood mascot. I don't know if anybody actually owns the cat, but then, swooped right into the rescue in the middle of this coyote attack, which... Meow, meow, meow. Ted, as you know, being it's your spirit animal, coyotes do not, one-on-one coyote. No, it is...
Not at all.
There's a full pack of them, and there was on this dog. Gotta love it, man. Good news. Having a little bit of men's room sports as we go in there. The NFL Pro Bowl players were revealed over on NFL Network today, and I am proud to announce that of your Seattle Seahawks, we have not 1, we have not 2, but we have 3 players making their way on over to the Pro Bowl. Of course, in consideration, he's there every year. Number 5'4" linebacker Bobby Wagner.
That makes sense.
Makes it in as a Pro Bowl.
Boy, Bobby.
Fresh on the Seahawks, number 20, safety Julian Love.
All right.
Making his way into the Pro Bowl.
Starter, huh?
And also we have a rookie making his way into the Pro Bowl.
2, 1. Devin Witherspoon going in.
Spoon's a beast.
He is a dog, man. I love it. Did you see that tackle where he just threw the man down during the Steelers game? God, that was great.
Spoon he is a beast, dude.
He is, man. I am excited to see how far this kid takes it. He is great. Some hockey over on TNT. The Devils are in Washington taking on the Capitals. NBA on ABC, ESPN, and the Trailblazers are over on Root Sports against the Mavericks. And you got a whole bunch of college hoops over on ESPN2, CBS Sports, FS1, and the Pac-12 Network. As far as your weather for tonight, you got light showers all night into tomorrow morning, and you're going to face temperatures right around 45 degrees. And that is it for your news, headlines, traffic, weather, all that fun stuff. And with that, Mike Hawk is out. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy. The head chef is back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. The lovely Kevin Deers is up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best, and for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Metro by T-Mobile, there's not a yada yada. That means no contracts, no price hikes, and no surprises. We don't even hide what the lawyers make us say. We put it first. When we say no price hikes, we mean when you join Metro, your price will never increase for talk, text, and smartphone data. Our only exclusions are for limited time promos, pre-use charges, and third-party services. Nada yada, nada yada yada, nada yada, nada yada yada. Nada yada yada means wireless without the gotcha. Only at Metro.
A new year is full of surprises, but one thing is always predictable. Postage costs go up. Stamps.com gives you crazy discounts of up to 89% off USPS and UPS services. So when postage goes up, your business will barely notice the change. Stamps.com is like your own personal post office, wherever you are. You can even take care of orders on the go with the mobile app. No lines, no traffic, no waiting. Schedule package pickups, automatically find the cheapest and fastest shipping options, and seamlessly connect with every major marketplace and shopping cart. There's even a supply store where you can stock up on mailing supplies, labels, even printers. Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses just like yours. All you need is a computer or phone and printer. Take a chunk out of your mailing and shipping costs this year with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code PROGRAM for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com code PROGRAM.